program is brought to you in living color.
I love color. Oh.
It's Sunday afternoon, so it's time for Doc's Chat Party. Join Doc, co-host Jeff Kendall, and their guests for 2+ hours of fun, frivolity, and maybe fisticuffs. And now, here he is, your host, Doc Duckus.
Come on, everybody. Let's go. It is time because it's Sunday. Sunday. Yes. And you know what time it is on Sunday. It's time for Doc's Chat Party. And you know what happens at Doc's Chat Party? Nonsense. You're just going to love this show. If you love nonsense, you will love this show. That's all I got. Hey, Jeff Kendall's here.
I'm here.
He's there. Tim Allen's there.
Yep.
He's there. Yeah.
And here comes the Vito Scully fan club. Yes.
He's here too. Very good.
It's a luck fest.
That's good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Is there anybody over in the? Okay, get off there. Is anybody over there? Oh, we have Ollie Perry who says we're late. No. Do they? Yes, we do. And if you haven't changed your clocks, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Who forgot to change their clocks this morning?
I just changed the one right up here. Everything else changes by itself.
It'll probably take me a week to figure out all the ones I missed.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clocks to change, and I changed most of them yesterday. Like
It's a
last night.
chore.
Yeah.
And so like when I'm about to get up this morning, I wonder what time it is. 9:15. Well, I think I better get up. So then,
I'm having lunch, so I'm just going to stop my
yeah,
camera.
I missed the 20 minutes of Batman.
Aw.
I know. It's like another 3 weeks before you. Well, we used to have that, but we don't want the kids to walk in the dark to school.
No, that's not good.
So they made it darker. That doesn't make sense to me. They pushed the clocks back, so they made it darker.
I know.
But whatever.
Did you know that in Saskatchewan, they don't change their clock at all?
No,
They got it.
Why does the rest of the country do it?
they don't do it in Arizona either.
There's lots of places that don't change the clock.
I know it confuses the sun.
It does.
It's like, I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people like, should I be getting up right now? It's still dark. Well, no. Some idiot decided we should change the clocks, and now it's an hour ahead of what it ought to be.
Yeah.
But does that mean you get home earlier an hour? No.
No.
But you might get home during the daytime.
It should just stay like this. It should not get dark for any reason at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Let nature take its course. Get it right.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We have a new sponsor this week.
Oh,
No, we do.
Yeah. Maybe we get one.
Yops out.
No, a new sponsor. New. Keyword new.
Is it poi?
Is brought to you. I should use the other hand. Yeah. Okay. Remember, stage right. Okay. Poppy.
Okay.
Poppy is our new sponsor this week. Poppy.
What flavor is Poppy?
Can you see that? It says soda.
soda.
It's soda flavored.
It's
Okay.
Doc Pop. Doc Pop.
Doc Pop.
Oh,
Doc
there you
Pop.
go. Doc Pop.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Is
I
that,
endorse
is that your own pop?
It
Did you
could be.
invent that?
So is that Doc flavor?
Yeah, it's Doc flavored soda. I'm out.
I'm not drinking that. But see, I haven't popped it yet.
Okay.
So it's a true to life review.
Oh, pop.
I have not popped my poppy yet. I hope it doesn't go pop all over me. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I think it was supposed to be cherries on the side.
Oh, okay. It's cherry soda then.
I don't know.
You just popped your cherry? Is that what you're telling us?
But anyway,
Ooh, boy.
poppy.
Okay.
I'm wearing it.
Getting on you? He needs one of the Pelican bibs.
I fear this is a diet soda.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
So it's Diet Doc then.
I don't see anywhere on there where it says sugar free or anything, but that's not good.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, if you
opened
mix
it
it
up.
with some yop, it'd probably be better.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. Turn it up.
Yes.
You open it up, you have to drink it all. So,
You can mix it with cherry Coke.
mm-hmm.
It needs sugar. It tastes like diet.
Yeah.
Anyway, James says he's convinced the reason they changed the clocks is because clocks were crappy back in the day and they forced you to set it twice a year.
Yeah, that must be it.
Probably.
No.
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 When it gets dark at 4:30, that's regular time. Daylight saving time in the summer where it gets
I had to
dark.
reset
almost
my-
at noon.
I had to reset
No,
my
that's
sundial.
not true. This is regular time right now.
No.
No.
Yeah, but it should be 3:07, not 4:07.
Yeah, this is daylight savings time now.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
we're on the wrong. That's why the sun is up there going like, what did you guys do down
I had to reset my sundial. It was
there?
all confused.
That's right. Do you have
You have
all
all your own teeth.
teeth?
Most of them.
Ah,
I got a few back here that are missing, but most of the over here are
Yeah,
here.
the teeth I have are my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine. I keep mine in a jar.
By the door.
by the door.
Exactly. No, I have my own teeth. You know, I come from good genes. Both my mom and dad died with their own teeth, and my mom was 95, and she's
Ooh,
not.
Very good
okay.
teeth.
Yeah, my mother died at 103 with all her own teeth. So
Well, I have a lot of cavities because my dad started me on candy when I was a little.
you should have been drinking poppy.
I know.
Yeah. See, Marcus thought, how riveting to watch somebody open up a can of pop and taste it for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, because
You know, somehow, no matter what we do, this show always goes back to dentistry.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to find poppy in your stores.
Four out of 5 dentists recommend this show.
The show, yeah. So Poppy is a Canadian soda then?
I'm thinking, yeah, I've never seen it in America.
Is it made by somebody? What's it say on the can?
I was just reaching for it. Let me see where it comes from.
Comes from poppy tree.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Come on, where is it?
It could be a Pepsi product, maybe.
I don't think so.
A Popsy product.
Oh, it's imported from.
Brazil.
Mars.
No, just says imported.
Imported from Venus.
It could be. So, like, if I do find an address, it's probably going to have it. It says imported by Alberta.
Okay.
Thing, but it
It's
doesn't say where-
Canadian. But James Farley says we have Poppy in his local Walmart, so we have it over here then.
Maybe it's a Walmart exclusive.
Might be some of those Walmart exclusives.
Unless you like diet soda, it's not for the general public. Ugh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Poppy in my local Walmart. And he's Canadian,
That's
right?
unique. The taste of diet soda with all the calories and sugar, that's unique. You don't get that much.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, if you want, it doesn't say anywhere on here that it's a diet soda. So like, you take your chances.
Well, read the ingredients, and if sugar's not like number 2 or something, then
Oh, For
Maybe
one
they
thing,
have diet poppy or sugar-free poppy.
yeah.
What's the carbohydrate percentage or number of grams of carbohydrate? What's that?
Oh, the number of sugars is 4%.
So how many grams is that carbohydrate?
4,
4 grams of carbohydrate.
4%.
Yeah.
And
So
then
it's not diet, because diet usually has 0 grams of carbohydrate.
Mm.
yeah, and then for calories it's 30. So there's
For
not
that one
But
can.
it is a diet soda. 30 calories for a soda is nothing.
Yeah.
It is a diet. It's not for diabetics, but it is a low calorie.
In the U.S., we go on daylight savings time from March to the end of October. So do we.
Yeah,
Regular
so we
standard time,
do. Yeah.
November to March. Same here.
Yep.
Same here.
Yep.
So everybody had to change their clocks, right?
See, they switched it a few years ago, right? It used to be what, May when we switched, but they switched it a couple of months.
Might have been April.
I think when the state switched, Canada switched.
Yeah, everybody switches at the same time.
Canada being the 54th state.
Yeah, well, it had to do with it did have to do with trade and cross border, trade.
Oh, there's probably a tariff on time.
Not yet. They're working on it.
Yeah, pretty soon, I'm going to charge you 25%. Well, then we're going to charge you 25% for your electricity. How do you like them apples?
That'll be the new thing. When you order something online, there'll be a tax for how many days it takes. And knowing the government, the longer it takes, the more tax there'll be.
We're not long to this world. What a time to be alive. Jeez. Nobody's going to Florida in spring break from Canada. You can bet on that. We're going somewhere else, like.
I'll be right back.
Tuck the F duck.
I usually go to the lake for spring break.
Well, Tuck the F duck's on the ocean, so that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. Be a balmy 28 degrees. It'd be pretty
How many days would it take to get a suntan? Tuck the F duck.
Yeah.
All of them.
Frozen tan.
You can play with the walruses. It's like,
yeah.
Actually, I think the beach up there is like pebbles and stones and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to wear some shoes.
Yeah.
What'd you do when you were on the beach? Oh, I made a snowman.
Spring break in Canada is Oak Island.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Might be.
I thought you were referring to that Oak Health thing. With the old guy that gets up and he's dancing all the way through the,
He's pretty rude towards the end when the doctor needs his room for the next patient and he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah. Well, all eyes are on him, and he's taking notes. So, and besides, how many people are zinging through the halls on a chair on wheels? A stool on wheels.
That note thing is ridiculous. When I broke my arm, my doctor just used his cell phone, and when he needed to know something, he just talked into his cell phone and recorded it. He didn't need anybody taking notes. I don't.
And did they offer you a coffee?
No.
No, and you didn't go to line dance lessons right afterwards?
No. I did have a broken arm though.
It's awful. Hello, Piccolina. Nice to see you. Hello.
Hello.
Wait, yeah. Okay. The cat's going like, look at this. Look at this. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, all my cats are sleeping.
That won't last long.
Wait till like 1 o'clock in the
Just
morning. Yeah. I'm trying to sleep and they're running through the apartment.
Well, why don't we see what Jeff Kendall has bought this week? Because I know he's bought a lot.
Me first? Well, not today. I just have a couple of things. I got one of those CDs, where you buy the CD only, and you have to make the cover art Well, this is, you see, Classics, Volume 17, Procol Harum.
Ooh, I
And
love the
basically-
artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, this is $1.99, and basically there's the CD. I got to figure out how to print these things up, but that was $1.99. I got this one, and one more item. My local thrift store's been doing pretty good. They had a sale on their movies for 99 cents, so I picked this one up. And actually, these are pretty fun movies. You like Richard Pryor? I got a Richard Pryor triple feature
Whoa,
for 99 cents.
that's an over. How much did you say?
99 cents.
I'd buy that for $1.
Actually, good. I had seen the Tory at the movie theater. I think I saw the other two on HBO or something. But they're
I don't
actually
remember the See No Evil one.
Yeah.
Oh, Gene Wilder's in that. Huh?
Wilder's in with them. Now, I read these are among his most successful movies, other than the ones he did with Mel Brooks.
Ah,
Right.
wonderful.
Did they do, was Stir Crazy Pryor and Wilder? Was that?
Yeah.
Was that,
Yeah, and then these, and he did Silver.
oh, I'm sorry. No, Silver Streak. That was them too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that was filmed in Toronto.
Look at this. And is in a wheelchair now?
Yeah, that's a shame.
Oh, is she really?
Huh.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either.
She can't run around the stage like she used to, I guess.
No, I don't have the puppets dancing to the Partridge Family. No. Dancing, yes. Partridge Family, no.
Dancing to something. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Tim Allen. Okay, hello. What you
Hi.
got? What you got? Yeah,
I
what you
didn't
got?
buy
What you
anything.
got?
I didn't buy anything, but since Doc grabbed something from the shelf, I thought I would do my own segment and thought I'd try to figure, when I don't have anything, feature a box set, because we all buy box sets and then we just put them on the shelf and there they sit forever and ever and ever. We don't do anything with them. So I thought I'd show this one because this is a pretty cool one. It's interesting. It's the first 5 Pebbles albums
What?
in a box. And all they did was put it in like this plastic thing with a sheet of paper on the back.
That's weird.
Tim bought a box of Pebbles.
Yeah.
But you open it up, it has this little twisty thing, and you open it up, and you get the first 5 nuggets, and they are remastered, so they do sound a little better than they used to. But the reason to pick this up, and I bought actually the last 2 of them. I bought number 99 and 100. I gave one away as VCO.
Do I see colored vinyl coming?
Okay.
But they all look
Ooh, that's impressive.
some of the like most gorgeous colored vinyl you'll ever see.
That is
Are
impressive.
on these things. But after they did 100, they did another batch of 100. So I do not have the last one, but I don't know if the vinyl's the same on those as these.
I think Beetle Bride would be very jealous.
But yeah, they're. I'll show one more. I won't show them all. A couple of them I haven't even opened. I've never, because I already had them. It's solo kind of deal. So
I'm looking for
I
that
think
Bam
mine-
Bam box set.
live, I've opened. Yeah, there's
A
mine.
box of Pebbles.
And if you don't
Okay.
know what Pebbles is like garage rock. It's similar to the Nuggets album.
Oh, they're just smaller than Nuggets.
And
Pretty.
That's kind of nice.
it looks purple or it looks blue on the screen. It's really purple.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it
so-
kind of looks purple. It's got, yeah.
And I love the label it wound up on. BFD.
PFD.
Wonder what that stands for. I don't know.
Don't they make underwear?
But,
But for death.
so yeah, I just thought I would show,
That's kind
a
of cool.
box set. And there you go. So
So is this like
Oh,
various
yeah.
artists, Tim? Is that what these are? Various artists?
Basement rock.
yeah, it's all literally taken directly from 45s.
Oh,
Okay.
So
okay.
we drop the needle, put it on, next one. You can hear the between the
Some of them were a little
songs. And
crackly.
it's
Yeah.
just the way Greg Shaw did it. I can't think of the name of his company. He died a long time ago. But he didn't get much credit, but he also played a major role in the original Nuggets albums, along with Lenny Kaye. But he didn't get a whole lot of credit. He should have.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes
anyway, you go Pebbles, and there's up to like 25 volumes or something of Pebbles, and then they changed it to highs of the 60s and carried on, and then they even did lows of the 60s, which is you bottom of the barrel then, which is the point of lows of the 60s, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been into garage rock recently, so I thought
James wants to know if that's a Snap Crackle Pop box set.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of Snap Crackle Poppies in it, even if the vinyl is mint, because again, they're dubbed right from 45s.
Poppies.
Poppy.
Whatever. Okay. Poppies are sponsored today, but I don't recommend it unless you're on a diet.
I have nothing. I ordered something, but it got delayed, so I'll have to wait till Thursday.
So Wawa.
Okay.
Wawa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it'll arrive by Thursday.
Okay.
Hi, it's me again. I didn't get anything new, so I
Invites.
pulled something off the shelf. So here's an album that is misunderstood and thought of like, It's the Knack. Normal
Oh,
is
the Knack.
Normal is the next guy. By the Knack. Remember the Knack?
Yeah.
Oh, right, you're on it. By the time they got to this album, nobody cared.
Interesting cover.
Yeah, I know it scares people. Look at
Yeah, it looks like a horror film. Yeah.
If you find it out there, it doesn't cost a whole lot.
Mm.
So for
I think
$5,
that's their last album. I think it's better than Zoom, which was the album before that.
it's okay. It's
I
not
like that better.
bad, but
I like
yeah,
it better than
it's
Zoom.
okay. So like if you see Normal is the next guy by the Knack, and if you like the Knack, you like this. And it won't cost you a whole lot either. So there you go. Missed.
Yeah.
Missed it by this much.
Yeah.
I got Mick Jagger's "Got Us in the Doorway" album.
Mm-hmm.
And David Cassidy's "Didn't You Used to Be."
Mm-hmm.
Partridge Family was on TV this morning. I could only stand 30 seconds. It was dumb.
Love the Partridge Family.
Oh, that's that's the Poppy Family. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course. Yeah,
That was Terry and Susan Jacks.
That's right.
that
The
is
same
correct.
guy who did Seasons in the Sun. That was him and his
That
wife.
is correct. Yeah.
Terry and Susan.
Mhm.
Yep. That is correct. I can't figure out what's on the couch back there. Let's see this hand. If you're talking about what's back here, it's those ski lodge mugs.
Oh, both of them. Don't knock them down; they might break.
Ooh, that would be bad. Yes, but that's
My ski
what's
lodge mug is in there.
that's what's up there. Yeah. Okay. Look, it's Penny
Hey,
Lane. Penny Lane. I don't even have the penny anymore. Sorry. Oh, I guess I never did play this thing for all those people that did show up. Where is it? This one.
I bid you welcome.
So, a word of advice: if you're ever in a house and somebody comes out and does that, get the hell out of there.
Yeah, especially if you sound like that.
Everybody comes and says, "I bid you welcome." Just get the hell out of there.
Does not bode well for Bella Lugosi comes out.
Mm,
That's just,
That's not a good thing.
especially now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What was the Partridge Family episode that was on this morning? So something about
Real memorable one, huh?
yeah. I think David Cassidy had a crush at somebody on school,
Somebody again, yeah.
something like that. And I just went like, "This is dumb." And Suzanne Crowe even got a line in.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, because
Okay.
she was standing in the living room and they were talking, and the camera went to her, and she said something.
Yeah, her line was, "Where's my tambourine?"
Probably.
I was going to say, did she have a lot of tambourine practice? She's in her room doing the, yeah.
But I was surprised she even had a line.
Okay.
So like, oh wow, she got a line. Then they dove out the window for some reason. I said, this is
Oh,
stupid.
Do they live in a 2-story house?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I
Yeah,
think they
there's
were in the living room though.
Okay, so they didn't break nothing. Okay.
So like David Cassidy dives out the living room window. One like, I don't know, but in the next scene they were at school. All right, and
Oh, well,
you know,
he was late. He had to go to school.
I mean, he was late for school, so he
Yeah, he had to get
pulled
out
out
there.
the window.
Now, was that a first season episode or later season?
I have no idea. I'm not.
You didn't notice it wasn't the first drummer or the second drummer?
He didn't show up.
One of
Bonaducci wasn't even in the scene.
one of the complaints he had was that they started writing scripts where he was coming off as a real doofus. And so that's why he decided he wasn't going to go back to the series, because they're turning him into a bit of a goofball, and he didn't like that.
Maybe that's why he dove out the window.
That could have been from like the 4th season, because that's what was going on. It just running out of ideas. So
Well, the first drummer had dark hair, and the second guy had blonde hair. So, hi, Steve. So,
Five of you?
1, 2, 3.
Wow, you better try counting again, Steve.
5 of us.
Yeah,
That's fine.
he's confused.
One of us must be schizophrenic.
Or he's seeing double. One of the two.
I'm not.
Oh dear.
Shut up! I'm trying to talk.
But there was no time this guy showed up at all. So maybe he was in the Who Scout.
He was biting ankles.
Yeah, there's the.
That's the
There's
second guy. He's a race car driver now.
Oh, he showed it.
Oh,
I'm ready this time.
doesn't somebody want to be wanted like me?
Mm.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I
Well,
can
no,
only see
we're
30 seconds was enough.
Yeah.
So like, it's almost like, gee, which is funnier, Partridge Family or Family Affair? Ooh.
Oh! Don't get me going. Partridge Family is way better even than the Brady Bunch, in my opinion. Way better.
Yeah,
Way better.
The future.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Oh,
Brady
does this
Bunch
mean
is
we're
so
going to have a special
key
guest?
and,
Mm,
Stephen Schnee and his time machine.
yeah. Oh, well, no, wait a minute. In California, it's 3 hours difference.
Oh yeah, it's like
I'm pretty sure they have daylight savings time in
it was
California.
like noon or something.
Well, they do. We got it here in BC, so they definitely do.
It's like 1 o'clock out there.
It was like right after lunch.
1:26 Pacific time. Oh, I guess Pacific Daylight Time now.
Mhm.
Martin wants to know whether Paul still has the shopping bag that came with the album.
Well, I never did have it. I never did have it. This is a used copy, so I never did have the shopping bag. So I just
Ooh,
grabbed one from my grocery store and stuff.
incomplete. Incomplete.
Well, you
Why
can't even
did
get
you-
shopping bags at grocery stores anymore. They've
Wait. Who didn't hold anything up?
We did
No.
hold everything.
We did.
You
All of us.
We did.
Mhm.
We just did it.
All
must
four
have
of us.
blinked. You must have blinked.
Yes.
All the comedy on the Partridge Family was Danny and Ruben? Yeah, it could be. They were like
Pretty much.
They were like the Abbott and Costello or whatever.
They could have
They're
had their
real
own
close in real life. So
To me, they were way more like a real family than the Brady Bunch, because they would throw insults at each other, and they acted like a real family as opposed to the Brady Bunch. You never see Greg putting Peter down, or they don't ever act like a real family. They're all nice and lovey, and the Partridge Family was way more real.
yes, this is true. And the Partridge Family actually sold a record or two.
That's true.
Other than the Brady kids.
Well, the Brady Bunch sold a record or two.
Yeah. Partridge Family sold a few more than that.
Literally.
The Partridge Family actually had hits.
So today's Brady Bunch episode had Marcia in the dentist chair fawning over her dentist.
I think the Partridges had bigger guests on too. They had bigger guest stars.
Well, I don't know. Brady's had some fairly.
He surely cooked.
Yeah,
good guests.
Partridge Family had Ray Bolger on and Jackie Cookin. And
Here's a poll for you. Who was hotter, Mrs. Partridge or Mrs. Brady?
Oh, easily, Mrs. Partridge, easily. When I was a kid watching it, it wasn't Lori I liked. I liked Mrs. Partridge.
She's still an attractive woman. It's amazing. She's aged really well.
Doc, did you get that other deal on Facebook about Florence Henderson just passing away?
No.
Oh, did she? She just died?
No, she died about 15 years ago.
Oh,
yeah. No, see, like Sunday noon, I go for coffee with the old friends.
Just moments away. We're so
by the time I get home, it's time to start getting this show ready. So I didn't.
News travels slow in Oklahoma, I guess.
It does. Rural Oklahoma, where I live.
In fact, when I started, I didn't even make a commercial for this dang thing.
Yeah, and they're trying to steal the leg down the street, and who knows?
Yeah, the Brady said Joe Namath. See?
Yeah.
Davy Jones, of course.
Yeah, who else? They had another football guy too, I think, and at least one baseball guy. And Uncle Fester was on Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
They were in show business, so like they probably had to run into some people.
I thought
do you prepare? Yes, I do. Of course I prepare.
You do.
I do. I have to prepare the commercial and the death of the week and the album of the week and all that kind of stuff. And
doesn't it show? I mean, it must show that we're prepared.
We have to prepare. Yes,
we have to prepare. See,
we have
compared to other high quality entertainment shows, I think we're doing really well.
Yeah, this is the highest entertainment you could get. Just a moment. I bought the Meet the Brady's LP at Salvation Army last week for 99 cents. Like you overpaid.
Yeah, I have their Christmas album.
Well, we're still jealous of your finding. Look,
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, I told a lie. My record delivery today.
Yeah.
Oh, so your dogs would go.
No, that's a good
when you
question.
hear the dogs bark, and I'll be maybe doing an unsealed reveal.
Okay, that'd be
good.
Was Vito Scotti on the party?
I got a note yesterday saying it was supposed to be here yesterday, and then I got a note saying it'll be delayed to Monday. Now it's going to be here today. I don't know.
I will check.
Was he on that? Well, we can do an investigation on that question.
Yeah. Well, being the president of the Vito Scotti fan club.
Yes, I should know this.
You should know this.
But I don't, so
you gotta look it up.
Woe is me.
Yeah.
No, but they had Meathead though.
What did Meathead play?
Meathead was Snake on the Partridge Family, as was I forget his name. Angel on the Rockford Files played him again because Meathead got famous in the meantime, and so
I don't think
Not
so.
Avery Kramer. No, the other guy.
I do not see a credit for Vito
No.
Scottish on the Partridge Family.
Oh
It would
no!
have
We
been
must have got
early
Nor,
70s. He
nor
was,
the Brady Bunch.
yeah.
Oh, I lied. He is on the Brady Bunch.
aha!
One episode, but no partridges.
Yeah.
He must have thought Mrs. Brady was hotter.
He's probably after Alice.
Yeah, maybe because she cooked too. They had that in common.
They had better catering, so he went with
Yeah.
Brady Bunch.
Oh, you know why he was on the Partridges? That's the week he was on Shaft.
Shaft.
Oh, okay. He was on the TV show. Okay.
Shaft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even
Yeah, the
remember
TV
Shaft being a
series.
TV
There's only
show.
on for
It
one.
was a show. It wasn't bad. Richard Roundtree. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Yeah, even Jimmy Stewart did a TV show. He played some kind of an elderly lawyer or something.
No, that was Barnaby Jones.
Yeah, but he was some kind of an elderly lawyer or something. He'd scream at people in the courtroom.
What is with this new Matlock series with a woman in it?
I
What is
know.
that supposed to be?
Stupid.
It said it's been renewed for a second season. So
It's called woke, Doc.
yeah.
No, but is
I don't know.
that supposed to be a continuation of the original, and she's supposed to be like a daughter or something? What
Isn't it a black woman too? Is it? Am I wrong on that?
No,
No, that was somebody
that's
else.
really woke.
No, it's just. Well, is she related to the other Matlock?
Well,
or
that's what I'm
something?
saying. It's supposed to be like a sequel of sorts.
Yeah, she must be like a relative or something.
And she's Matlock also.
Well, they're just out of ideas. That's like when they
Yeah.
Oh, they
redid
are.
Night Court, which was a huge success. No, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't.
No, they're just recycling. It's horrible.
All the original characters are dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought Stephen Schnee was coming up because he was insinuating there were 5 people up here. So, well, promise is promise.
No, yeah. What did Stephen have for lunch?
Pancakes. Whatever.
Well,
I'm pretty sure he did not have Poppy.
No Poppy.
no
No.
Poppy.
We had some water, but no
I
Poppy.
got a whole can of
I'm
Poppy.
gonna try Poppy on Remembrance Day.
Okay.
Doc Pop.
Let's see. I was
James
trying to
is
think.
right.
Of that.
James made a good comment in there, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah. Hawkins. Mm-hmm.
Hawkins.
It was only on for one season.
Yeah, that's right. I barely
Mhm.
remember that. Yeah,
But there was a bunch of shows that were only on for one season.
yeah.
That one and the Shaft show and
Hawkins.
mhm.
So
Well,
this
they
is
had,
this is bang on. We could come up with better ideas.
we could.
And hey,
Well,
we do.
easily.
Twice a
Easily.
week we come up with better
Yeah, we
ideas.
do. Mhm.
Of course. Who wants to watch another rerun of the A-Team when you've got this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had Old Chapter
Unscripted.
Night Stalker and also the Planet of the Apes TV show. Those are 2 other shows that were on for a season. So
Well, they ran out of bullets on the Planet of the
Nobody
Apes.
got
So
on
the
they had to
bullets,
cancel.
Planet of the Apes, and I had to, yeah, put a big breakfast.
Breakfast with Boo Boo. I don't even want to do cereal reviews anymore. I don't want to.
Breakfast with Boo Boo. That could be like
Breakfast with Boo Boo would only be like a minute long.
It would be a
Done.
segment. It would be part of the show.
Yeah, he did.
Right? It wouldn't be the whole show, but yeah. Henry
Henry
Fonda.
Fonda had this with him.
Yeah, the Smith family, and his
Really?
son was played by Ronnie Howard before Happy Days.
Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, see, not only are we entertaining, we inform you.
You remember that show? You remember
Yeah,
that show? It was only on 2
I don't
episodes.
remember that at all. That had to
Remember
have
that
been
show
like
with Ron Howard on it?
the late 60s or something, I would
Yeah, I think like 69, 70.
think. Yeah.
Because I like to
Working.
mess
What
around
is
on
that?
YouTube and see kind of weird stuff I can find. You know, they did a TV series about General Custer. It only lasted a few episodes. Because
Oh, until he got massacred.
I was going to say, who would make a show about General Custer? Oh, I'm going to die tomorrow. I was like,
Maybe he was making pies. Tim
Who
Allen,
knows?
you're going to have to address this restraining order
yes.
on mentioning. No comment.
Oh,
He's
God,
just
you
like
can't
a
comment
good-looking
because the
guy.
restraining
Oh,
order.
yeah. I remember that show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
James
every year.
Remember
James
that.
at
James is
15 at
16.
first, and James at 16. Yeah.
Yeah, and James
You
is
know,
having, and
you
then
know
his
what
cat-
one of the problems is that and this has been going on for years, but we don't have any like anthology shows anymore.
Right.
They used to have these anthology shows that was a different thing every week, and you got TV shows from that. Like Happy Days comes from Love American Style. You would get ideas for shows out of these, and we don't have anything like that anymore. We don't. So you're not going to get ideas from these because they don't exist.
We've got The View.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
We've got the Jennifer Hudson Show.
Yeah. We have
I'm talking about anthology shows. Like there used to be lots of them. Love American Style is the only one. There was Police Story, which was a different cop show every week, basically.
Yeah.
Well, they had the what was it? NBC Mystery Movie of the Week.
Yeah,
or something?
yeah. There was
Sort of
those.
McCloud and Columbo and all those guys came
Night
from
Gallery
that.
came out of that.
That was all the mystery.
That goes back to the 50s. In the 50s, they used to have these like half-hour or hour-long shows, like dramas or comedies or whatever, and they would be on every week. They're like the NBC Playhouse or whatever,
Oh yeah.
That kind of stuff spawned ideas for movies, for shows.
Right,
For
90,
I don't have that anymore. I haven't had it
How
for a long,
many-
long time.
How many people remember He and She?
Mm-hmm. And
Mhm.
they're actually married.
We got his and hers on our towels, but that's different.
It was on.
I remember He and She. Do you remember He and She?
Yes, unfortunately,
Richard Benjamin and Paula Prentice.
and they were married.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Was that before Quark?
Yeah, it's a few
Very
years
much.
before Quark.
Very much so. Yeah.
They had a TV series about the King and I, called Anna and the King.
Really?
Yul Brynner played the king. He didn't have to shave.
Ooh,
Shave his head bald because he already was.
1912.
1912.
Don't get it started.
No.
I used to laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, we had room 222. And I remember when my first year in high school, history was in a room 222.
Mm-hmm.
How
I used
convenient.
to get a kick out of that. Yeah,
Wow.
we had a history class.
I wonder if Karen Valentine's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did Karen Valentine show up for class? Because that would have been good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but no.
We're stuck with.
Unfortunately,
I
no.
don't think the Connors are on anymore. Is it?
I think they've canceled it.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
It's
canceled.
been.
Well, they canceled Roseanne, so
Mhm.
Yeah,
And the show
but I
just
mean,
went on without
they
her,
were
and it was
on the
very
road
wasn't the
with
same.
the Connors, but I
Yeah.
don't.
and it was doing really well but then she got woked, and that was the end of it.
Mhm.
That was Melissa Gilbert was behind all that too. That,
Yeah, that sounds familiar, but that's as far as it goes.
Dear John,
Yeah, who's
That-
in that?
I remember the title.
that rings
I
a
did
clunky
too.
bell.
Gosh.
See, the problem, we don't remember these shows because they never made it to reruns, right? The
Mhm.
shows you
Yeah,
remember, the ones
yeah.
that have been in reruns. That's
Mhm. Like it must have been.
Dear John was about this guy trying to get back with his girlfriend, I think.
heard.
Yeah.
The
Good
show.
hurt. The John.
was that pre-Taxi? Must have been.
Yeah.
No, I think it was post.
Maybe not.
Taxi.
Post-Taxi?
Yeah.
Couldn't have lasted long because only
What
one
was the
person.
one John Larroquette did after Night Court? He was in charge of a bus depot. What was that
Oh, I
called?
think that was the John Larroquette show.
Was that what it was
What
called?
was it?
Imaginative title. I wonder why that didn't.
Yeah,
count.
like 6.
It didn't last, but I kind of liked it. I thought it was a pretty good show, but it never lasted.
Yeah. Well, now we got him back on Night Court. I guess it's the
Well,
only
no,
one.
they can't. I'm pretty sure Night Court got canceled.
But
The
my
second,
gone.
second time?
Oh, you can't
Yeah.
do Night Court without Harry Anderson. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I mean,
No, it wouldn't be. No, he was really the show.
I mean,
Fraser
she
is
was good on The Big Bang Theory, but she can't hold a sitcom of her own.
No,
She's not funny.
it's difficult.
I believe that Frasier remake is done.
Mhm.
Good.
It got
I only
canceled.
saw the first one, and I'm like, this is off.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
the brother wasn't on it, right?
Part of it was
Yeah,
animated.
only he was. Only
Yeah,
he
see, that's the
was.
problem because the original Frasier, his brother was the most interesting character.
I thought the dog was the most interesting.
Yeah,
character.
they had all these new characters, and they were literally just stereotypes of types.
Yeah,
They weren't people; they were just types. You know, and
Niles
it's like,
was
yeah,
Niles
there's
was
no
the best part of
characters
the
here.
original.
Yeah.
There's just types.
Oh, he
Doing
did. Did
What's
last a
that
while.
long?
88 to 92. Wow.
40 years?
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably a
Oh.
sitcom.
Wow.
Go on for.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yes.
Oh, Adam's Rib, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember watching it, but I remember seeing it in the listings.
I may have seen an episode.
I
or two.
never heard of it.
Yeah.
That was I think before The White Shadow.
Wow, I can't believe that Dear John lasted that long, because that's about as long as Moonlighting lasted. And everybody remembers Moonlighting. And
Yeah.
nobody remembers Dear John.
Sometimes they get in your consciousness, and some, in one eye and out the other, they're gone, and
In one ear.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they're done.
Back. I got a dog bugging to get out. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye.
And there was also a show that I remembered called Here Come the Brides.
Yeah,
And they
that was
had
more of a
Bobby
Western.
Sherman.
I hated Westerns.
Yeah. Were Bobby Sherman and David Soul and the guy who played Sarek was on there, Mark Leonard, and also three other people I can't think of. There's a lot.
Ken
of
Howard also did Manhunter.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Don't remember that one at all. Okay, must have been short-lived.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
We're on a network that I didn't care about. Like, oh, it's on ABC. I don't know.
Yeah, because in America they did a show called Starsky and Hutch, and in England, the guy that was responsible for the Avengers did a show called The Professionals. It was the same kind of show. These guys were government guys.
Oh, was that the one with Tony Curtis and?
No, that was a different show. It was a different. These are professional agents for the government.
Mm-hmm. That was Backdoor Duff Partridge Family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of the guy's name who wrote the songs, because they had such a stupid character name.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tim Allen remembers. I know he remembers.
No, I don't. I've never seen Getting Together ever in my life.
Wes
I
Stern.
remember it, and Wes Stern was in it. Yeah.
Wes Stern. Oh, dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but one of the shows I used to watch wasn't actually a show. It was a series called the ABC Movie of the Week.
Well, they all
At
had
one time, it was on twice a week. It was on Tuesday and Thursday. They actually had some good low-budget films on there.
Well, sure. That's where The Night Stalker came from.
Yeah, The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler, and a lot of really. There's a one.
That was
called,
another place that TV shows used to come from. Was made. I mean, like I think Toma started out as a made-for-TV movie, and then that turned into a series, which turned into Beretta. But all three networks had made-for-TV movies. Even NBC would cancel its Friday night lineups and show movies once in a while.
Salvage One. Remember Salvage One?
No.
With Andy Griffith?
With Andy Griffith, that was on. It didn't salvage much. It was on for one season.
Well, once they tried to make it into a series, it was like,
Yeah, and I was so mad. I was watching the David McCallum Invisible Man series,
yeah.
and it was canceled after I think there was 12 episodes.
That's because you could never see him.
I know.
They just told it was David McCallum, but we really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they might have had the voice in there.
Yeah.
Like, hello, everyone. I'm invisible.
I'm invisible. Mm-hmm. They should give him.
Hello, I'm David McCallum.
Yeah.
The problem was he was too short. They couldn't get the camera on him.
I don't think Vito Scotti was all that tall either.
Yeah, we know Scotty had to stand on a box.
Stand on a box.
Box of food.
Oh, Tony Curtis and Roger Moore were
Mm-hmm.
I just watched that series back back in the fall. All three seasons? No, one season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's only one season. I watched it. I own it. I found it in my thrift store one day.
I found it online and just watched all the episodes. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a good series.
And that one was the guy who was Bobby from Dallas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can just tell that they filmed him completely in a different order than they showed him, though, because Tony Curtis's hair is brown in one episode, gray in another episode, and then brown again.
Like the second last episode, his hair is black.
That's a good one.
Yeah, they filmed him in whatever order, and and.
I really enjoy. I guess that show is just a lot of it was ad lib too. Like Tony Curtis was constantly ad libbing and throwing Moore off just to do it to throw him off. But you can see it in the show too when you're watching it, because a lot of stuff Curtis comes out with is just it's ad lib, right? Because nobody writes that stuff. It's just.
The actors,
I really enjoyed that show. They were going to do more, but then Curtis got the Bond gig, and that kind of put the end of it.
Yeah.
But
that's right. No Duel was a really good movie of the week, and also one of my favorites. They had some really good thrillers. There was a movie called Who's Afraid of the Dark, about this young couple who buys this house, and there's these little gnomes who come up from the cellar. These little,
I thought you were going to bring up Trilogy of Terror.
No, well, that was one too. At the end of the movie, they pull her down.
That was one like the next day at school. Everybody talked about. Did you see that last night?
Yeah, with Karen Black. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was the other one? Born Innocent with Linda Blair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Apparently, Roger Moore and Tony Curtis, they remained lifelong friends.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. They were always in touch with each other, which I think that's pretty cool. Because they didn't know each other before the series, right? And they had very different acting styles. Like Moore was very British, disciplined sort of thing, and Curtis was kind of the opposite. And I guess originally there was some friction because of their different styles, right? But they remained friends throughout their lives. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not every episode, but he was always wearing leather gloves.
You know why? He had scabies.
Well, I don't know why, but I've heard things about why, but I don't believe any of them. But anyway,
I know who knows the answer to that question. Rick 9G.
Probably. We'll have to have him come on and explain.
Why was the Persuaders canceled?
Wouldn't it be nice to have Rick 9G as a special guest?
They had the Night Stalker on the ABC Movie of the Week, and then next year they had the Night Strangler, and then they decided to water it down for a TV series. My idea would have a Kolchak movie every year. It'd be a lot better.
But the ratings were so high, they went for it.
Yeah, that's why they did the series.
The original movie was outstanding. It was a really good movie. Of course, I always liked Darren McGavin. He just he was very unique, right? But I thought it was a decent series. But again, it kind of was the father of the X-Files in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and he was on a couple episodes of the X-Files. Yeah. And they wanted him to play a retired newspaper man. He said, no, I'll have to do something else. He's not going to be Kolchak no more.
Speaking of thumbnails.
Oh. Okay.
Does anybody know this one?
Well, I'm going to get my CCR.
If it's an imaginary band, it's probably the Archies.
That's what I think too.
Oh, that was John Fogerty there. So
Yeah, but Fogerty's not an imaginary band.
No, it says imaginary band, so it's got to be the Archies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only thing is, I
Fogerty.
got my Archie thing, and I'm going, okay, so what did they misspell? And the only one that was misspelled was Scooby Doo with a K.
Mm-hmm.
What was the comment? What was the show the thing again?
Show the thing. We've got to find the thing
Yeah.
again.
Show the deal.
Okay, we're going to show the thing again. Here's the
Misspelled
thing again.
record title.
And it's never been fixed.
An imaginary band outsold everybody
in 1969.
I don't think those two things are related. I think the top is talking about CCR and the bottom is a different topic.
I don't know. That's one of those misleading.
He's been
thumbnails.
doing that lately. Like he's been doing videos with a bunch of different
You
topics.
only have to watch for 30 minutes to find the answer.
Well, I got my.
No way! I am not going to watch that thing for 30 minutes to find out.
I don't know.
I don't like the professor of rock. He's
I know.
teasing me and everyone else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ah, these people with the misleading thumbnails. Oh, geez. But it's got to be the Archies.
Yeah, it has to be.
Got to be the
1969. They sold a bunch of records.
Well, yeah, I think probably the best-selling single of '69 was probably Sugar Free.
Oh yeah, Bad Ronald was a good made-for-movie TV movie. It was a young kid whose
Bad
mother
Ronald.
passed away, and he stayed in the house. He lived in kind of a closed-off area of the house.
Bad
And a new
Ronald.
family moved in, and he was stealing food off the refrigerator, and that kind of weird.
Or how they say on Match Game, how bad is he?
Yeah.
Boom. Boom,
Oh,
boom,
good
boom.
enough. There's the bathroom on the right.
Bathroom on the right.
Mhm.
There's the bathroom on.
Yes, he was a good Mark Hammer as well.
He was?
I don't remember him. I thought that was.
No, I thought
50.
Stacey Keach.
Well, that was in the 70s. It was in the 50s.
But, you know,
Oh, okay.
I like the
Jerry
glamorous
Lewis didn't
ladies.
like him,
Yeah.
Aaron
Oh,
McGavin, just because
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
situation. The movie
Yeah.
that they were about to make, The Delinquent or whatever it was called, is the movie where Dean Martin left. So they got Darren McGavin to play the Dean Martin part. And because it wasn't Dean, they just didn't get along just because Jerry wanted Dean.
Blue Ridge Rangers was a Fogerty solo. He did that right after Creedence.
okay. So the Zada
Yeah.
Imaginary Band.
Country album. More a country than anything. Yeah.
Okay, so
Because
Well,
I read his book, and he was being sued by the record label
Yeah,
for
he couldn't use his
contractual
name.
obligations and stuff, and he couldn't use his own name. He couldn't
Yeah.
use the Creedence name, and he couldn't use his own name. So he put an album out as the Blue Ridge Rangers.
That's
Okay.
correct.
ooh,
Yep.
so now we're digging into this. Like, we know who this is.
Yes, we're
We don't
the
have
And it sucked because because he's a nice guy. He gave everybody in the band like 10% of his songwriting. You know. So he's being sued, so he's making no money, and everybody else in Creedence is still making money, and he's not. And he's the one that did all the work, and he's like, oh, what's
Yeah.
going on?
And didn't he really get mad because the other guys did the Creedence Clearwater Revisited or something?
I don't know if he got mad at that, but I mean,
This,
again, autobiographies, you can't believe everything everybody says. But
This
he
isn't
said
the
he
original
did a
cover.
lot
but
of work.
Oh, okay, there it is.
It's not the original cover, but that's the album.
Mhm.
No,
Okay.
I do I have it? I don't know if I have it or not.
Okay,
The
so
original
what-
cover had him and like 4 or 5 different silhouettes of him on the front. It was a blue. This is a reissue, but
Okay, so what's misspelled?
see there it says John Fogerty, the Blue Ridge Rangers.
Yeah.
I don't think that was on the original either.
No, it just said the Blue Ridge Rangers.
Because this one says
His
John
name.
Fogerty, but I don't think the original said that.
And they froze his bank accounts and everything. Meanwhile, all the guys in Creedence are still making 10% royalties off for the songwriting and stuff. And he's like, I'm starving to death. These guys did nothing.
Somebody did a video just this last week on. They're talking Stu Cook, who was the bassist, and you know they were basically saying how the other band was upset about how John Fogerty took control and wouldn't allow them any input and all this stuff. And it's like, wah, wah, wah. So I left a comment that says, well, the truth in these matters are probably somewhere in the middle. But the bottom line is John Fogerty had the talent and the vision in that band, and the others should be grateful that they made millions. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, you sit there and whine about all this stuff, but when he gave them the opportunity, we ended up with Mardi Gras, which is a horrible, horrible album. So, you know, the proof is in the pudding. And what did those other guys do after Creedence broke up? Aside from Tom Fogerty doing some decent solo albums, Stu Cook and Doug Clifford have done nothing. So.
So what's the song title that's misspelled on the album?
Well, I don't think it's this one. It's
in 69 Creedence was still together. That album was like 71 or 72.
Oh, well then
it has to be 72.
Well then the Professor of Rock
73.
is
Sorry, 73.
Okay.
Ooh,
stupid. But yeah, and Fogerty even says in his book on a lot of Creedence albums, he would go back and redo a lot of the other parts, including the bass and the drums. And he's like, sometimes I'm basically the only one on these albums, because he just said they were so sloppy sometimes that he would have to go in and redo it.
If you list those guys, they paint him as a real control freak and a megalomaniac and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, hey, John Fogerty was the one who put it all together. You know, like, yeah, it was Tom's band, but John had the talent. I mean, let's face it, he had the talent and he had the drive and the vision to do it. So, you know, and this isn't unusual in bands. Like, there's always people that emerge as the leaders. The Eagles saw it, the Rolling Stones saw it, the Beatles saw it. They all have one or two people that dominate. I mean, that's what
the Kinks. It was Dave Davies' band. The Kinks was Dave Davies' band. Ray wasn't even a part of it, and Ray joined. And next thing you know, he took over.
Yeah, I mean, every band is like that. The guys who had Burton Cummings, the Who had Pete Townsend. You know, like
Brian Jones.
Who's going to whine about Pete Townsend dominating the Who? Like, who's going to whine about that? I mean,
James. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. Oh, sorry about that, Brian James. Oh well. Really though, is everything Archie? Yes. Of course it is. Yes.
Anyway.
Gimme Good Lovin' by the Crazy Elephant was misspelled.
Yeah.
Oh, it was misspelled. Okay. That's a cool tune.
Yeah, but are they an imaginary band? As though Professor of Rock claims.
I think those two headlines are separate. I don't think they're the same. They're referring to the same thing.
Yeah, no, Crazy Elephant I don't think was a real band.
I don't know.
There were a lot of not real bands in the late 60s.
Because I don't remember them doing anything else. That's
bubblegum. You know, that's what
your hint is
not real band.
But I'm not going to spend 30 minutes.
Crazy Elephant was an American bubblegum pop band noted for their 1969 hit single, Gimme Gimme Good Lovin'. I wouldn't call that bubblegum. I guess maybe some do. But,
well, it is. It
was studio concoction. Yeah, it was a studio concoction.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
the Marzano Calvert Studio Band, created by Jerry Kazan.
Kaz
and Katz. Yeah.
Jeffrey Katz and Dopey Dog. No, that's not right. Super K Productions. Yeah. Okay, so they were. I didn't realize that. That's a cool song. I like that song. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, yeah, I mean, the same group was the Ohio Express and the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, and
They
what's
were
the
active
other one?
for 3 years, 67 to
They were
70.
prolific.
What's
They
the
had,
other one?
quite a few singles. They have one album. Guess what it was called?
Bubblegum.
No, Crazy Elephant.
Should have known that.
On Bell Records.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it wasn't on Buddha. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, but maybe the rights changed. You know.
They actually had half a dozen singles.
You know, from Bell to Arista to whatever.
Now, Buddha was separate. Buddha wound up being owned by RCA eventually.
Well, what do you know about that? I learned about Crazy Elephant today.
See? And you thought that other guy was the professor of
Look at that, folks. You learn it as we learn it.
Yeah.
Just amazing. Just amazing.
And you didn't have to sit here for 30 minutes over an hour.
Yeah.
Nuggets of knowledge. Yes. And since we're talking about records, we better see what the album of the week is.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Bare Naked Banjos by Dan.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta go take a naked selfie of myself.
I just kind of wonder if he gets his something stuck in the strings.
I need more than one though to cover myself up.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyone have a Tommy Rowe album? Yeah, I've got one. Of
No, I mean,
Yeah, I have a few.
I don't. Do I?
His early stuff before he sort of had hits is actually pretty good. He was a rockabilly guy, and then he went back to it after.
He toured Britain, and the Beatles were part of the group that he toured with.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a version of them doing, is it Sweet Pea? One of his early tracks in the Star Club before he actually recorded it.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember his big hit was Dizzy. I love that song.
Yeah, that was later. That came 67, 68.
Yeah,
Are those original recordings?
Tommy.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Row your boat. Exactly.
Yeah. So we got Sheila and Dizzy and Sweet Pea.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Talk about bubblegum. Yes, indeed.
And he was he from Texas or somewhere down south?
I don't know.
This is an early one before he started having
He's
hits.
from MCA.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, my brother had one of his greatest hits albums. It was out in like the late '60s. He had a greatest hits album.
What? A new TV show, Crazy Elephant? Who's gonna watch that?
It was like a kids show.
Yeah. I think Mickey Dolenz was in that when he was a baby. Row your boat.
Mm-hmm. He was in a show called Circus Boy when he's a little kid, but there you
And
go.
his best friend was an elephant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I've tried to watch that show. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's
I've tried to watch it. It's got Mickey Dolenz in it. It must be good.
Oh no. Yeah.
It's boring. Besides, it has clowns in it, and I don't like
Tommy Rowe is still with us. He's 82.
Oh.
Dizzy was 69.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go to bed until I heard it.
He's a rockabilly kind of guy before.
That's good music. I like this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, George sings Sheila in the Star Club recordings.
Yeah, so go get some Tommy Rowe if you don't have one. Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should check and see who died this week. Roy Ayers. I don't know anything about him. But they made a big fuss about him, so okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that must have been it. Okay. Tommy Rowe was born and raised in
From
Georgia.
Joey.
Hey, here's the album my brother has. 12 in a row, a collection of Tommy Rowe's greatest hits.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
My brother had that album. It was a pretty good album.
Uh-oh. Somebody checked out the Professor of Rock. Oh,
Yes.
they are different. Sugar Sugar is the song that outsold everything. Yes. That was
Yeah,
another old
Yeah.
song at 69.
he said that.
That was a big song.
Something else. So are you going to waste 30 minutes of your life to find out?
Well,
I'm not.
I think we'll let somebody else do the legwork on that.
There was a misspelling on the Beatles, A Hard Day's
Tommy,
Night.
yeah, Tommy's from Atlanta. I knew he was a
But
Southerner.
it's never been fixed. It's never been
Well,
fixed.
they finally fixed A Hard Day's Night, I think, when Capitol got a hold of it, but United Artists never fixed it.
You mean like I Cry Instead?
Yeah, in the 20 years that they had it, they never fixed it. Well, Tell Me Who. It said Tell Me Who on the back cover, too.
At least in Canada, they didn't fix it until it was on like the purple Capitol label.
Yeah. And it said Tell Me Who.
Late 70s, early 80s. Yeah.
Who? Tell me who.
Yeah, and they never fixed it. Never.
I Cry Instead.
Yep, there was 2 on it, and they never.
He's no Professor of Rock. Stop it. Just stop it.
Who is it?
It's amazing the difference between record companies. Like United Artists will let something like that go for 30 years and not do anything about it. Capitol finds a mistake, they fix it almost immediately. I mean the look at Rarities had a couple mistakes, fixed that. The first Beatle album neglected to put publishing on the first copies, immediately fixed.
There's a rare copy of Abbey Road on the Canadian Capitol purple label when it was first put out on the purple label with a misspelled Abbey, A-B-B-Y. E.
Ooh.
That's a really hard record to find. I haven't got it. I've been looking all over for it. I can't find it, but it's right on the label. It's A-B-B-Y, misspelled Abbey Road. And that's really weird because they got it right up until, like 1980.
Yeah.
Decided they're going to screw it up. So, yeah.
Well, all the Target boxes with the T-shirt and stuff from the latest Revolver album said Revolver on both sides. They left out a V.
Oh, really? That's pretty bad.
On both sides of the box, and they never fixed it. That's how many they pressed, and they all say Revolver on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if mine says that.
Yeah, so next time
You got the box with the T-shirt.
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah, it's the one that came with the T-shirt. I think it's and it says Revolver.
Revolver.
Yeah,
that's outtakes.
Yeah.
Where's
Whatever.
the quality control with these people?
Well, it's amazing what they used to do, man.
It is amazing how many people mistakes like that have to squeak by, and sometimes they still do. There's got to be 10 people in the chain at least looking at this thing and improving it.
Second generation of the Capitol. This is in Canada. The second generation purple label. They misspelled Abbey, and this is like 1978. And it's a rare. I've never seen one. I keep looking for it, but it's both sides. It's A-B-B-Y Road, and they had it.
If you want to hear about a Beatles misspelling, don't go to that Professor of Rock. He'll only make you watch 30 minutes before he tells you.
Yeah, come to me, I'll straighten you out. But that was it was 1978. So that was, quite a ways in. And they screwed that up. I think that was only in Canada, though. I don't know if you'll find it in the States, but
well, some of them crossed the border somehow.
The Capitol pressing as well. That would have been pressed at their new plant. Capitol built a new plant just outside of Toronto in '77. So this would have been one of their early pressings from the new Capitol plant.
They didn't know how to spell back then.
Well, I don't know. It came from the printing company.
Yeah. Unless, I mean, some labels print their own labels. I mean, some, they just order them and then they just have to print them. It's not,
Well, the way it worked in Canada, most of the time, the label and the jacket came from a printing company. They didn't do their own, and then the plants would just, package them at the plant.
I should have went to 4 Imprint.
This one was made by Everready, which was a printing company. So I don't know if they made the label though. The cover was made by Everready, but I don't know about the label.
Monday, Friday job.
Like, just get these things out of here. Let's go home.
But I mean, the small labels would run out of labels sometimes, and then they would use the wrong label just so they could keep going because
Well, I told you guys about the Hard Day's Night soundtrack in Canada, right? The mono came out on 3 different colored labels because they kept running out of labels.
Yeah, that would happen all the time. Didn't usually have big labels. Sometimes it
United Artists in Canada, the official mono label was red. They ran out of those, and then they went to black, and then they ran out of those and went to their subsidiary label, which is blue, just for the monos. The stereos are all on black, but
introducing the Beatles on VJ is on 3 different labels, not for any reason other than they ran out of the rainbow label, so then they started using other labels that they had.
Just use the black one, the plain black one.
People think there's some mystic reason. No, they ran out of. It's like McCartney and his black carnation. They'd run out of red ones. It's the same thing.
That's all it was.
In Canada, the white album, they ran out and they brought albums up from the States, and they're the ones. Like Canada never had the serial number printed on the front, right? Mm-hmm. And the American jackets are actually smaller in dimensions than the Canadian jackets, which is a lot of people don't know that, but Canadians are like 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch wider or something like that than the American ones.
I don't know. The professor of rock says McCartney's carnation was black because he was dead.
Well, that was the myth. I remember that from '67.
Yeah, that's the myth. That's
what they were saying.
That he really did die.
A black carnation because he did.
Yeah,
Well, I've always said George is the Beatle that died, because if you watch the Penny Lane video, he's on a brown horse and the other 3 are on a red horse. Therefore, George died.
Yeah. And Paul,
all of this stuff is just ridiculous.
I don't know. The wall was just Paul.
The funniest one I found was on the cover of Abbey Road. For a period of time in the States, they airbrushed the cigarette McCartney is holding. They airbrushed it out.
Ooh,
on the cover of Abbey Road.
No,
they only did that in the States, though. They only did it anywhere else.
The cigarette. Because we can't have a Beatle smoking. That'll send the
Well, it was all against the anti-smoking movement, right? And that's why they did it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's like that famous picture on the cover of A Hard Day or of I Want to Hold Your Hand. Anything past like 1980, that cigarette is airbrushed out of McCartney's hand.
I know, look, a black carnation with no shoes means you are really, really dead.
Well, that was the Abbey Road thing, along with the license plate.
Really, yes.
The fact that he was in bare feet is a sign. There's a certain society that buries you in bare feet.
Yeah.
Sign of the dead.
And then on the cover of Sgt. Pepper, there's a hand above McCartney's head, which is supposed to be a sign of what do they call it? A premonition that you're going to die or something.
Yeah.
And standing in front of a graveyard thingy.
Yeah. It's just crazy stuff, right? Just crazy stuff.
Was it really? I don't know.
I don't know.
And on the back of that cover, he's got his back to the camera.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, because that's why.
If any of you guys ever watch, it isn't on there anymore, but it used to be on YouTube for a long time. The Winged Beetle. It's a 2-hour movie about McCartney being dead.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch. I'm not saying I buy any of it, right? But at one point, they've got a phone call. Somebody calls Derek Taylor, and they're asking him about the cover of Pepper, and without any prompting or anything. And it's like, they're all standing there in front of the guitar, and Derek Taylor goes, "Oh, are you talking about The Grave?" And they didn't prompt him at all. This is just what he said, and they're all like, "Holy
It's
crap!"
supposed to be standing around a grave, yeah.
But it's not. They always said it wasn't a grave, but here's Derek Taylor saying, "No, this is a grave."
That's a grave. And the
it's like,
guitar's even left-handed.
The other one was the arm patch Paul was wearing. It's supposed to said OPD, officially pronounced dead, but it's actually OPP, Ontario Provincial Police, is what it is.
Yes.
But they've twisted it. So no, it says OPD. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Well, all of that
That's
stuff.
your problem.
Isn't there a line of a song that runs through McCartney or something like that?
Yeah, Wednesday morning at 5:00 is he standing backwards. The other ones are all facing forward. And he's backwards. He supposedly died on a Wednesday morning at 5:00.
Ooh,
All
that's a large hint. Yes.
Well, the first one was A Day in the Life is supposed to be about his death as well, but it's not. It's a friend.
Blew his mind out in a
Yeah. It was
somebody else.
They'd seen his face before.
Might have changed.
I can't remember the guy's name. He had a girl's name, but he was a party animal. He went out.
It was the Guinness Heir. I forget his name.
Yeah, the Guinness Heir. Yeah.
It was the Guinness Heir.
He used to throw these parties. He was drunk driving and ran into a truck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to him? He was only he was young too. He was only like 21 or something. He was really young.
Mm-hmm.
George is pointing to 5:00.
But no, he says Wednesday morning at 5:00. That's what the lyric is right there, where McCartney's pointing at it. I think maybe George is one of them. But
see, I still say they had, when they were filming Help in the Bahamas, they went out fishing and the boat sank and the other three drowned and McCartney was the one that lived.
Oh,
That's what I say.
this is not gonna happen.
I bet you I can prove it by all their album covers too.
Mm-hmm.
But McCartney did get in an accident and he did have a little surgery. That's why they all grew mustaches. This is true.
Did too, but he didn't die.
He didn't grow a mustache. For a while he did eventually, but his mustache at first was fake. McCartney. There is video. I've seen it of it falling off and him kind of surreptitiously putting it back on again.
A fraud. He's just a fraud.
But it's because he had you can see in the paperback writer video, he's all banged up. I mean, you can see that. They're not trying to hide it. He's missing a tooth and his lips.
Oh yeah, the chipped tooth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Payback writer and Rain. And then he had surgery to fix it. And he to hide the temporary scar, he put a fake mustache on.
The best one I saw is when somebody compared a picture of Paul against another picture of Paul, and they're going on and say, "See, it's not the same guy." The problem was the two pictures were taken 20 years apart from each other.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's going to look different, 20 years older. Honestly.
And
that was the funniest one I've ever
I
seen.
like the people that go, well, you look at him from the 90s on or whatever, and sometimes he's looking down playing his bass, and he never did that in the Beatles. No, he's been playing She Loves You. He's going, she loves you yet, boom, 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 she loves you. Now he's on He's playing a little better now. He's playing more complicated stuff. So once in a while, he does look down at his bass because he's doing way more than he ever did back then.
Where do these things get started?
The whole MMMT album cover upside down. It's supposed to be a phone number to a funeral home. And another one. Oh, I didn't know that.
There it is.
Yeah.
Magical Mystery Tour.
No, Magical Mystery Tour.
Oh, well, Magical Mystery Tour. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
There's
that.
lots of those. There's lots of them. And if you play Sgt. Pepper Reprise backwards, the lyrics do say it was a fake mustache, which is pretty funny.
So can you guys see a phone number there?
Oh, on the back. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry.
No. It's
Oh, it's
not
on
the
the
back.
front.
It's the
It's on the
front.
front.
It's the front. Yeah, it's the Beatles is a fake phone number. It's like 7. I can't.
537.
Oh, maybe 537. Anyway, it's a phone number.
Doesn't look like a phone number to me.
No, just look like an album upside down.
I mean, maybe we should drop some acid and then look at it.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
It's just like these guys. Unreal. Yeah, that looks like a phone number to me, guys. Look
I
at
don't
that.
know. Let's call it and find
How
out.
could you not see that?
And if you hold a mirror up in Sgt. Pepper to the middle, to exactly the middle of the Sgt. Pepper thing, whatever's in the middle of the drum, it says Paul die.
What?
Or he died. Not Paul, he died. He died.
Mhm. There's something that says Paul
And
is
the
a dead
arrow's
man.
pointing at Paul.
Says
Turn me
Paul
on
is a
here,
dead
yeah.
man. Miss him. Miss him. I think.
Well,
it's
yeah,
number
that's
backwards or
an
something.
easy one. That's
And the
Revolution
famous
9.
"Turn Me On, Dead Man."
Yeah,
who was
that's
number 9.
Revolution
Turn me on,
9.
Dad.
And here comes
Look,
Robert G. Hey, Robert.
Here comes the expert. He'll straighten
Yeah,
us all up.
he knows all the backwards
What's
stuff.
that phone number say, Robert? There's a phone number.
8357309. No,
Oh, that's Jenny.
Jenny, whatever.
Yeah.
8376309. Was that what the one?
Yeah.
Is that how it
Yeah.
goes?
Let's see.
But no, there was a famous
Five,
a DJ and made a phone call using that
Yeah.
Yeah,
number. And
I think it was from
got this
Detroit,
really
too.
weird thing.
Russ
when
Gibbs,
he did it.
was it? Russ Gibbs?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
My right Detroit guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
See, there's an American cover there. Oh, you can't really see it too well. This is the White Album, but this is an American cover because it's got a number on it.
What?
Remember?
Oh, that's the phone number. What we're
Mhm.
supposed to call
Yeah,
it?
if I, oh, what's going on here?
You're
That
keeping
happens
that.
to me too sometimes.
You guys must be stoned. There you go. Okay. See the phone number?
There we
That
go.
number?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
an American cover because Canadian covers didn't have that. But this is a Canadian pressing in an American jacket
Mhm.
I see.
Hmm.
because we ran out of jackets in Canada. So we said, hey, we phoned Tim's neighbor and we said, hey, Buffalo, send us up some jackets.
They couldn't
Well,
just
it
take.
comes
They
from
couldn't
American
just
pressing,
take.
but-
Go to like a place that makes jackets and get a few thousand just blank white jackets because that's what it
Yeah.
is and throw them there.
Just go to a photocopier.
It's only a white jacket for God's sakes.
Yeah. But that's that's the American. So we had those are the only Canadian pressings you'll find with a number on them. They're actually American jackets
Mhm.
as opposed to Canadian jackets, and they go from a certain number up as well.
I think we should call that number and see who answers.
235-5637. Give 'em a
Easy.
call.
Hey, whatever happened to Jimmy Nickel? He's still sitting in a
Still out there. Yeah.
Australian train station.
He's still waiting
He's
for
in his
plane.
80s. He's still there. Yeah.
Dejected Jimmy Nickel.
Mhm.
Dang. Yeah. On the back of
Back
that,
in the 90s.
3 dots and
Yeah.
a crack in the wall.
Mhm.
What does that mean?
Yeah, signifying there's only 3 Beatles left. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
another one.
And the crack
Back in the 90s, I released a
The
2 CD.
crack in the wall represents McCartney because he's dead.
He's yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, I guess you can put read anything to anything, right?
A 35-page story on the Paul and Dead thing. Jeez.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I can't believe there's still some people that believe it.
There were whole books. There were whole books on
Oh,
it.
I know. It's just like whatever.
Mhm.
Oops.
Every once in a while, you'll see somebody online that says this.
You'd think they'd be talking about something real, like how is Keith Richards still alive?
Yeah. They prop him up. Yeah.
Well, what
That's
I
to
always
me is
thought
the
was
bigger mystery, right?
the Glass Onion quote, though, I thought was odd because really it wasn't until like really 69 that this stuff started coming out. And yet Don put, here's another clue for you all. So that was kind of odd so early, you know, in 69.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It's just
Well, no, because supposedly he says Paul is dead or in Strawberry Fields Forever, and that's 67. You know,
Cranberries.
I buried Paul.
Cranberries. Yeah, I buried Paul. Whatever.
Cranberries.
Yeah, you know,
Whatever. But apparently he was killed in 1966.
But it's
Well,
funny. Some of these fanatics go back as far as help with clues, and supposedly he didn't die till 66. So how does that make any sense?
If he did, we're better off because the new Paul wrote a lot better songs.
Yeah.
Like Sergeant Pepper, you know, Forward, Abbey Road. He did a much better job in some ways. Up until then, like John said, he only wrote Yesterday.
Exactly. Look at the Rolling Stones covers and try to figure out why Keith is still alive. That's the next challenge. So have you guys, you're probably aware that the Beatles are on Her Majesty's Satanic Request. They're on that cover. I don't know if people realize.
Yes.
On the little
Yeah.
corner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're also on it. They're singing backup on We Love You.
Yeah, John and Paul, right? John and Paul.
John and Paul are. Yeah, John and Paul are singing. It is sort of payback because Jagger and is it Richards too? I can't remember. Are on All You Need Is Love. Same thing.
Okay, the person who
Did Brian Jones also play on Baby You're a Rich Man?
He played on You Know My Name, Look Up My Number.
Yeah,
He's playing the sax on that.
Yeah.
I think he played sax on Baby You're a Rich Man too.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool.
That's from what I remember.
Maybe we should call the professor of rock. He knows all.
No. He reads a script. I don't care what anybody says. He just reads a script. He doesn't know anything.
The real Paul would never have
Doodland.
Well, I can't argue with that logic.
You got a good point there.
Yeah, not one of his shining moments. Temporary, temporary.
I used to play that song for my wife, and she hated it because she was a secretary.
Well, I can't imagine. They should start playing that on the Good Humor ice cream trucks that go around your neighborhood.
Come on, she may be a diplomat, but I don't need a girl like that. Come on, that's great.
What you say to when I played the Fine Young Cannibal, she's a vegetarian also.
She may be a neurosurgeon if she's doing nothing urgent. Come on, those are great.
He must have been, you know, just rhyming stuff, stoned one night, who knows, and woke up and go, "This is great."
I think he got a hold of some bad weed. I think that's the problem.
Well, yeah, for me, it wasn't supposed to be an album. He was just goofing around. And then people said, okay, it's your next album. He said, okay, I suppose it is. But, you know, so he's just goofing around. So just goofing around, it's pretty humorous, you know, and that's all he was doing was goofing around. He wasn't making an album when he recorded that.
Marcus says it's a terrible song.
Yeah, there's worse that didn't make the album, like Mrs. H. Adam. That's worse. I don't care what anybody says.
I know that Frozen
Mr. H. Adam.
great, but at least it's instrumental.
Yeah.
Mr. H. Adam lives in a flat on the wrong side of town. Come on, and that's the entire words to the song.
Sounds like he's trying to do Mean Mr. Mustard.
Or Check My Machine.
It's another one. I always wonder if that was the Flintstones in the beginning of that.
It is. It is.
Okay.
It is. It's Mel Blanc.
Well, I didn't end up in the rivers or in the ocean, so hello, gentlemen.
Good.
Hello.
I was
Are you
afraid.
warm yet?
Oh yeah, I get warmed up right away. You think missing a 1 hour of sleep when you spring forward? Try doing 4.
Yeah,
because it was 4 hours difference, and so I was screwed up when I got there, and I was screwed up when I got home.
Yeah, try going.
I've been to London and Paris, so I've done more than 4.
You know what I mean? It takes you a couple days to get back into the groove.
Yeah.
But we had fun, dog sledding and ice sculptures.
Great.
Quite a few there.
Martin Bench, we have the answer to that. If you can hang on. Oh, this right here. What happens if I write to the Monkees fan club from the back of from the album? What happened? Well, I'll tell you what. There's something else that could be. So like, what happens if?
Hey, let's play ball.
In the house?
Sure.
Hey, what are those things anyway?
They're Nerf balls. Spongy foam. That doesn't hurt anything.
Nerf balls. You got your Nerf. Hey, so where did you get these Nerf balls from, me?
From Kool-Aid, free. You send in the top of 20 packs of regular Kool-Aid or 10 packs of sugar-sweetened Kool-Aid to Kool-Aid, P.O. Box 600, Bradley, Illinois, and get a free Nerf ball.
A Nerf's a Nerf.
Where's Peter?
He'd left the band.
We got him locked in the basement. It's about feeding, I think.
So what happens if you send in some Kool-Aid wrappers to that address? What happens?
Nothing.
Probably get nothing. Oops, we forgot.
Turn to sender.
Yeah, a few years you'd buy those in the stores anyway. You know.
Maybe you get Peter Tork in an envelope.
I'm surprised they didn't replace Peter.
With Steven
Well,
Stills.
they're already going downhill.
Yeah, with Steven Stills.
Yeah, Steven Stills could have got the call. He auditioned.
Yeah. He looked.
The show was already over, brother. Even the movie was done by the time he left. So they were just making records at that point.
Yeah, that's enough flying. 18 hours.
Peter rarely sang and didn't play on the records. It's not like they really needed him.
I think it was Birds Bees. He wasn't on it at all. I can't be guaranteed that, but I think that's what I read. He wasn't even on it.
They could have got John Entwistle.
I think Birds and Bees was still around though.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't until
he was still there. He just didn't do anything with it, from my understanding.
It wasn't until
He was all over
it was the first Peterless album.
He was all over the Help soundtrack or the Head soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Where was Mickey's tablecloth? They're still looking for it.
Oh, it looked like he was wearing his mother's wig.
Ooh. Yes. So,
I'm sure they did some other commercials as well.
Oh yeah, there's the Pizza Hut one with
some Kellogg's commercials. No, I'm talking about the early ones. They did some Kellogg's commercials, and they did one for some kind of a cologne, I think.
What's a sign that your popularity is declining? You do Nerf ball commercials.
Yeah.
Hey, they got paid.
They needed
money.
Those every Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That could be the last thing Nesmith did with him. I'm not saying it is.
By the looks of how happy he looked on the stairs.
There's a possibility that was the last thing that he ever did with him.
Besides Revolution 32,
the initial period.
I think they did. Didn't they do Johnny Cash show or something too?
With the three of them, yeah.
Peterless.
I thought in '69 the last thing was Monkeys Revelation 33rd or whatever it was called.
That was before Head, I think.
Before
Head, wasn't it?
After Head.
I think.
I don't know, but it was before Peter left. It was the last thing Peter did.
Because the original broadcast was up against the Grammys, and it was one that all got a Grammy for Let It
Yeah, but
Be.
the show sucked, so it might as well burn it off, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
I still like the Monkeys, and I still think they belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Put the Monkeys in the Rock Hall of Fame, indeed. Yeah.
Paul's letter this week for who was it he wanted? My brain's not working. Paul wrote a letter to get somebody in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, Lafayette. They're on Lafayette as well.
He deserves it too.
And Davey was on there solo as well.
On Laughing?
Yeah.
He was on the Brady Bunch, obviously. But
yeah, he was.
You guys remember Ringo when he was on Laughing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
barely.
Actually, they've got a pretty good length. A lot of those you can find on YouTube right now.
Oh yeah, and Tubi's got them for free. Back in the day, they're really funny. Today, it's just kind of, it was the sign of the times and all of the.
Well, a lot of the humor was political, and it was related to the times, right? So if you don't know the politics that was going on, a lot of the stuff just isn't funny. But
well, it's like hearing Flip Wilson now or "Sock It to Me, Baby" and all this stuff. You know, it was what was cool then. You know,
Pete Rose.
No. Pete Rose should not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh my God! Yeah, all joking aside, he'll probably get in the Baseball Hall of Fame now that he's dead. They'll probably put him in.
That's what it takes these days. You got to die first.
Well, you know his situation, right?
And being feeling sorry for him, like
they were just punishing him. That's all they were doing.
But that's why we've got a Gordie Howe Bridge down here.
Yeah.
They only named it after him because he was on his deathbed. Oh my gosh.
Will it help you at all?
Me, no. I was heading south, and nobody is heading south this year because of tariffs.
And it's nonsense. Just ignore
Doc's going to go into the YouTube Hall of Fame.
Just ignore it. It's just all talking points. Everyone's going to come to 7% and walk away. Trust me. It's all talking points.
We need the cow sills for the Rock and Roll.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Political theater. That's what it is. Just political theater.
It was.
And it's screaming and yelling, "I want 25," and then I'll end up settling for 7. Trust me. It's.
Thank you,
Go
Kimber.
right back to where they are now. There'll be no change. Just go back to where they are right now.
Or
and
whatever.
Yeah.
Let's put David Stoll in the Hall of Fame.
It's posturing. Whatever you want to call it.
I think Trump is doing it to make Trudeau look bad so that the Liberals lose the next election. That's what I think is.
Well, I hope they lose it anyways on both ends.
Well, I do too. But the way idiots in Canada vote, I don't know. But I truly think that that's why he's doing it, to make Trudeau look, or make the Liberal Party look bad. That's why I think he's doing it. Not that they need his help, but
well, no, I'm just saying in general, a lot of the stuff he starts is for posturing, and then he gets his way one way or another, just lower end of it. That's all.
Well, everybody knows Trump says very openly. They say, well, what Trump says isn't necessarily what he does. So
it's like the big fiasco at the White House with Zelensky. 2, 3, 4 days later, he's like, "Okay, we'll come to the table." He got what he wanted.
Well, I love how the press was just reporting that. They were showing like a 2-minute clip out of a 45-minute meeting.
Well, only the ones with.
And they didn't show the part where Zelensky kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and Trump finally lost his patience. They don't talk about that part of it, right?
Oh, I know. It's been this way forever.
And it's just like. And they don't mention that Zelensky did this with Biden as well. We're not supposed to know about that, right?
Well, it matters not to me because I don't want to give any more money to anybody. So
no, me neither.
Well, yeah, we shouldn't get political.
We're not a big cash register.
Well, you know what I'm saying is, for our allies, we'll help them out, but we start paying for everybody's everything.
Here's the bottom line for me, and this last I'll say about it, is that Trump is trying to establish peace. Anybody else that I hear talking wants to continue the war. So that should say it all right there. And that's fine because it's not Americans dying, right? So what do they care? Trump's the only one in a national leadership role who is legitimately trying to end that conflict. So just take that for what it is.
Well, I know what I got new if you want.
Okay, what you got?
This is old hat stuff for people who've been around other than me.
Okay.
And this particular woman had passed away in 96. but I was on YouTube floating around a week or so ago, and I came across
Hey, Eva
Cassidy.
died in '96. What a coincidence!
Yes.
Eva Cassidy.
Oh, okay.
And she's like a blues folk, more blues and folky singer.
That's a club in DC.
Right. And most of these 90% of what I'm showing you this is the only one that came on, I think, right after she died. Everything is almost posthumous.
That's a really cool photo.
Blues Alley. Mose Allison used to play there a lot too.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful voice.
I like that.
Excellent. All different kinds of covers. I heard her on doing what do you call it?
She passed away, Robert?
Yeah, she passed away 33 years old, I think, of pancreatic cancer or something.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
And she did such a great job. I had to go get online. I found on YouTube, not YouTube, FitToBe. I went and got as many as I could, and some of these are like $3 and $4 a piece, but they were worth getting.
Eva Cassidy, she's mainly blues?
Blues, rock, like
singer-songwriter stuff. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people know her from, she covered Fleetwood Mac's Songbird.
And she does, that was that one, Songbird. But she does some Simon and Garfunkel. She does her own, nothing of her own that I know, but like just a whole bunch. Under the Rainbow.
Songwriter. But she does
just look her up online. She's well worth the effort. And if you really like it, at least this one CD is worth getting for sure. It's a really cool live album she did. And you can listen to it all on YouTube. I got 7 of them. And I didn't pay probably $15 for all of them because they were like $3 and $4 each with free shipping.
Yeah, she got a bunch of videos up on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, and then this was the one, that Songbird he's referring to.
Yeah.
Trouble is, this CD, unfortunately, had a second copy of this live at Blue Valley. They sent me the wrong CD with the disc. Oops. So I have an extra. I can probably give this to Doc to hang out with when he's here next time.
Yeah, I see the Beatles are on that.
Well, you're seeing a reflection of my mirror.
Yeah.
But this is well worth having, Doc, if you want a little bit of interesting folk rock / blues / really excellent female voice. You won't go wrong. Anything you pick up on.
Yeah.
Great.
The video of her here doing Time After Time, you know, the song Cyndi Lauper did.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Yeah. If you want what her voice sounds like, it's very, now I'm not going to think of her name, but Songbird, what's her name? Then Fleetwood Mac. She sounds quite a bit. Yeah, it's mellow like that. It's not exactly
really
voice, but it's mellow like Christine McVie's voice.
Yeah, hey, this girl's awesome.
Yeah, the song that got me was when I first listened to was her version of Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, there's one here where she's a station I watched called The Charismatic Voice is doing an analysis of her version of that song here.
So take 5 minutes out of your time, and I think you'll have a good day. That's all.
Asking One Night That Changed Everything documentary, 50 minutes. I'll have to watch that.
Only 5 minutes?
50.
I got hooked on it, and I just said, you know what? They're not that expensive. I went ahead and just bought them all. I'll make my own greatest hits out of it, and you know. But it was well worth it.
And there,
of course. Sorry.
For anybody looking, there is at least one greatest hits out there too.
Well, there is, but they want $17. That's why
I'm just saying for anybody that's just looking for Eva Cassidy, there are comps.
Very good.
Oh, she did Ain't No Sunshine as well.
She did lots of covers.
Wow.
A lot of old covers. You know, It's a Wonderful
World. Rain, Gordon Lightfoot. I love it.
Yep, she does a Gordon Lightfoot.
Imagine. Who's the guy that wrote Imagine? That's interesting.
Oh, that guy.
Johnny somebody. I don't
think she actually
that one guy.
Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. What a Wonderful World. Take My Breath Away. The Berlin song.
Yeah.
I have the Imagine album here, but I don't think she does Imagine on it. It's just called Imagine.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember Imagine being on it.
Well, we'll send that to CD
True
tomorrow.
Colors, another Cyndi Lauper song. Yesterday, some other British guy did that. I gotta check her out. This is really good. There's a ton of videos of her here.
Yeah, she does do Imagine. Okay. Anyway, it is worth checking out. And
Son of a Preacher Man by was that Bobby Gentry? Was she the one that did that?
Dusty Springfield.
Okay.
She did. I think the original wasn't that a country.
Dusty Springfield did it originally.
Woodstock. Oh my goodness. Bridge over troubled waters. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
but she does them so different. They're all worth listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very mellow. She's very, very mellow.
Oh,
And
I
it's
gotta check
unique.
this girl out. This is really good, Robert.
So I was very impressed, and that's why I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
letter?
yeah,
You live closer,
yeah.
I'd send you the one. You don't live close enough.
What a silent. Oh, that's Silent
That's
Night.
okay. I'll send it to him.
Silent Night's my favorite Christmas hymn.
Yes, you can do that. Now, if you join the United States, it'll be cheaper to send you stuff.
That's true.
That's the only advantage.
You become the 51st state.
Desperado. I'm assuming that's the Eagles song.
Yes, it is.
She does a lot of covers.
Well, a lot of these were posthumously released, and so she had a lot of this like backlog recorded things she was just doing, and then unfortunately she died really fast once she found out.
Songbird, which you mentioned. Yeah, pancreatic cancer. It's a bad one.
I think that's what it was.
And she's no
Either way,
really.
it was too young.
Yeah.
It might have been something a lot
Yeah,
more.
there's no old pictures of her here, that's for sure. Like she's all young and all of them.
But I never heard of her until this year. So we're talking what, 30 years almost?
I have. There's a Christmas
Tim heard of
movie.
everybody.
Tim's heard of everything, so you know.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of the silly Christmas movie. British Christmas movie from the early 2000s or late. I think it's early 2000s with Hugh Grant in it. But anyway, the version I knew Songbird from her version of Songbird from that, but I knew her from other things before that. But her version of Songbird is in not even on the soundtrack to the movie, which I can't think of the name of.
Oh, come on, Tim Allen. I thought you were the professor of rock.
I can't think of names of things anymore. I'm old.
You know, us Beatle fans were so involved with Beatle crap for so long, we missed a lot of those groups, you know.
But anyway, Laura, it's in a Laura Linney scene, the Songbird song in that movie.
I missed half the 80s because I was still listening to Abbey Road, you know.
ABBY?
See, that was during my non-Beatles period, so I was listening to a lot of stuff then. But
Well, I missed the 80s because it was all that, I don't know, that boingo boingo stuff. I just didn't get into it.
The 80s is my least favorite decade of music, and I'm even counting the 40s. I might like it better than the 30s.
REM.
hard rock.
And the 20s, but, you know, beyond that, it's just not my thing.
I know. You wanted me to listen to Soft Cell Sex Dwarf this week. And I went, oh, that should be good. But I didn't care for it. I'm sorry.
I squeezed. I mean, there's enough out there that you can
Yeah, there's a few good bands and stuff.
I enjoyed it, but not like Steven, unfortunately. He really gets in.
Yeah.
First Guess Who song. Oh, I gotta go with One Man Army.
There you go.
I can't guess.
Kind of a novelty song.
Love Actually is the movie I was trying to think of. There you go.
Love Act. Okay. That's actually one of my daughter's favorite movies.
Yeah.
Love Actually. That's one of their favorite movies.
Yeah.
But I'm not buying
the song is featured in that movie.
And then they were giving me a whole lot of Devo songs. I thought, oh, I like Devo. Until I listened to it, I'm like, I don't like this. So,
you don't like anything, Doc. I'm not surprised.
I do.
Oh, my problem with some of the 80s is it is a lot dated, in my opinion. You know,
yeah, it's very specific.
Oh, you have
all
to
techno, too much techno pop. You know, drum machines and all that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I can probably find 1,000 songs that are great if I go through them all.
There's almost no acoustic guitars in the 80s, which means there's no mid-range. It's all lows and highs, and there's nothing in the middle, and I don't like that. It's hollow sounding. It's all very hollow sounding.
The video stuff is all, you're right, no guitars, right? It's just all...
Well, there's electric guitars, but there's no acoustic guitar, so there's nothing in the middle.
It's all processed guitars. It's not real guitars.
Yeah. I mean, something like one of my favorite songs is "Baby Blue" by Badfinger. And the thing that makes Baby Blue such a good sounding record, you don't even notice it, is you hear the electric guitars and you hear the drums and you hear the bass, but what you don't really hear, but is there, and you can tell it's there by the fullness of sound, is there's a couple of acoustic guitars playing along with the electrics, and you can just tell by the feel of the song. It's got a nice middle, and that's lacking in the 80s.
Having said that, one of my favorite bands came out of the 80s, which is Marillion. I love that band, and they came out of the 80s. So
yeah, but they're a full-fledged band. I mean, they're a real band.
Yeah, they're a real band. Yeah.
I mean, musically and
Saga started in '78, but they got their big hits were in the 80s. You know,
because I got into the Millennia or whatever you said.
Marillion.
I got into 5 or 6 of their albums because of you, and I really do enjoy them.
It's all my fault.
The only one before that I knew was with the kid on the cover. I can't remember the name of the album right now.
Misplaced Childhood.
Yes, that's the only one I knew of before you mentioned more.
I like
Brave. Is it Brave?
I think that was the third album, Misplaced Childhood.
Brave, I think, is the one I like the best.
Brave is an excellent album. Yeah, it's got such a wide variety of tunes on it. Like they do some sort of traditional folk on it all the way through hard rock. Like it really is an interesting album. And it's a long album too. You notice how long that album is?
Yep, I do enjoy it though. I do play it.
Actually on both sides of a vinyl record.
Well, I just have it on CD, but
it wouldn't.
It's over 50 minutes long easily.
Got at least 6 of theirs, and then I kind of faded away because I'm like, I don't know if I want to get everything. They were around for like 40 years, right? So,
well, 83 was their first album.
Yeah, so
then they did some EPs before that, but 83 was their first.
But they're still going.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So.
And they're an indie band. Like they're fan supported. So every time they do an album, they have people buy the album before it's recorded. I've done that, and I've got my name in the album credits on one of them.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Way.
What?
Yeah, Arachnophobia. I bought the album before it was recorded, and they put my name in the. There's a whole list of. There's a booklet.
Like pre-order kind of.
There's thousands of names in it. Thousands of people donated to it.
Wow.
Well, it's like the group Fish with a PH. They've got 50 albums, but they're almost all live, and they're not bad. But they play 40-minute songs. So you know, I have a lot of it. I got like given to me, but I'm not, crazy about it.
You're not a big Fish
Dead, Grateful Dead's got 40 live albums or something,
I like Fish and Chips.
Okay, well.
Especially halibut. I like halibut.
For the halibut.
They have those great
good.
Big,
That's the one I got my name in.
Oh, okay.
I do not own that.
What?
That's a phone number.
I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Arachnophobia.
So this is a special edition, but it comes with this booklet, and I can see, but it's just full of names. That's the names of all the people.
Wow.
All right, circle yours and let me see.
Like there's pages and pages of them.
Ooh.
The names. So there's thousands of people that contributed in here.
Yeah.
My name's in there. Whoopee!
Oh boy. The only Marillion song I remember is something called Corelli or Corelli.
Kaylee was,
okay.
Yeah, that was off their second album.
Oh, okay.
This was 2001. They did this album.
Didn't even know they existed until
I love the band. I think they're fantastic.
Paul came up.
Anyway, they came out of the 80s. That's why I brought them up.
Well, even Saga, I did the 25 disc for you.
Yeah.
And before I did that for you, I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
I still have them. I haven't listened to all of them yet.
I listened to them on my Cross Canada drive I did a couple summers ago. I played Saga. Played those CDs. It was great. Yeah.
But how do you make a greatest hits out of 25 CDs? It's not easy.
You can't. You can't.
Yeah, Saga is big in Japan.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
But that's why you're missed, Mr. Paul.
Yeah.
Your channel's missed because those things that we find out from other people.
Ah.
No, we educate everybody.
Just starting doing videos again. Is that what this is?
Well, I'm just saying we learned, what little bit of people you did affect, probably to the good, even if it was only a few of us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have any of you guys seen the video that surfaced in the last few days of George Harrison doing Taxman live in 1992 on an MTV set? It's a rehearsal.
No.
Worth checking out.
Okay.
Is that the same one where he was with Ravi Shankar in the interview?
I don't think so, because he's got a whole band and a setup, and he's got his band leader is I can't think of his last name. Mike from Tom Petty. Mike Campbell is his.
Okay.
I'll
go look for it.
From Fleetwood
band
Mac.
leader, and I mean, he changes some lyrics and stuff. He gets a little political, but it's interesting to hear a modern version of Taxman that's not live. I mean, it is live, but no audience or anything.
Right.
It's just
I have not seen that.
The studio musicians doing it.
It did work.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
See, all the best.
Only MTV used to play On the Loose by Saga.
Yep.
Now I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only one I remember.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest hits, right?
Only $4. What a bargain.
Yeah.
Doc only collects greatest hits. That's it.
I had a bunch, Robert, when you did those CDs for me, there was a bunch I didn't have you do because they were like greatest hits and live albums as well. I just had you do the studio albums.
You can always ask, and I can always do.
Well, maybe sometime in the future we'll visit that. But remember I had you do 2, and I sent them to my friend in Kingston. He loves them.
Now, if they're not too thick, I don't know how fat it is. You can make a plastic case for them now that my brother's doing that. But trouble is, I ordered one like 2 weeks before I left, and he still ain't made it. So he doesn't really get on the ball when you ask him to do something. You got to wait.
Off the ball.
I'm still waiting for the other clock. I got Doc's. I'm waiting for the one for Alan C. It's been like a month and a half.
Takes a while to do these.
Calvin says the F is better than the PH fish. So the F fish, for those who don't know, he was the original singer for Marillion. He left in 89 or 88, 89, I think. 88 he left. And he's done solo stuff, and he is quite good. Yeah, he's
got them all if somebody wants them.
He's more of a poet than a singer, I would say, but he's an interesting man. Yeah.
I'm just trying to broaden my outlook because you get tired of listening to the same stuff 40 years, and so give it a shot.
Well, I'm going to check her out, Robert. That's really, thanks for that. That's really good.
It's
definitely gonna check her out.
Check her out.
It's a shame that she passed. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, so young. Anyway.
Haven't seen Christopher in months.
Yeah, who do you like better, Murray? Well, I got to go with Hogarth because he's been there since '89, and he's like the bulk of their materials with Hogarth. But that's not to discredit the material they did with Fish, because it's outstanding material there as well. I try not to get into that because you end up. It's sort of like the Rolling Stones. What's the best version of the Rolling Stones? It's like, well, they're all great, And because there's far more material with Hogarth, that's kind of who I'm more aligned with, I guess, if you're lack of a better way of putting it. But the genius in that band is Mark Kelly, the keyboard guy. I think he's really the
driving force.
Marillion has a really interesting way of putting an album together. What they all work as individuals, and they upload stuff to the cloud, right? And so when they decide they're going to do an album, they just start pulling this stuff down and they start patching it all together and end up with these amazing soundscapes that they do. It's really quite incredible. That's the way they work. Hogarth is usually doing the lyrics, and then they just they start weaving things together from this done just independent of the band, and they come up with this wonderful music because of it. It's really quite interesting the way they work. Keith Rogers, really good guitarist, absolutely, yeah.
Christopher thinks it's Strawberry.
Even Mike Treveas is the bassist. He's an incredible musician in his own right. Anyway, I'm glad to see somebody else there is aware of Marillion. I love it. Christopher, great stuff.
Now I have 7. I just looked. I have 7 albums. Holidays in Eden, Season's End, Brave, Script for a Jester's Tears.
Yep.
Fugazi. How do you pronounce that?
Fugazi.
That
was their second album.
Misplaced Childhood and Clutching Straws, but Brave is my favorite.
So Clutching at Straws was the last one with Fish, if you don't count the live album.
That's 1999.
And the first one with Hogarth was Season's End.
Okay. That's all I've been able to afford to get right now. I bought 7 of them over the last.
For Jester's Tear was their first album. Yeah.
I may have more hidden away on file.
See, I like that version. The Stones' Mick Taylor is my favorite version, but I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to say one's better than the other. That's my favorite. And it's not just the music, it's where I was at that point in my life kind of thing. Because I always tie into, what's going on in my life to things I align myself with. So, yeah, but a lot of people will say that the Mick Taylor version of the Stones was their favorite, but whatever. They did some great music before that and some great music after that. So,
and what years would that be?
Well, Taylor basically he started showing up in '68. He joined the band in '69. So officially '69 through '74.
Yeah, because I kind of stopped in '81 and then jumped back to in late '90s again for a couple, and then of course the last one. But I skipped a lot in the between.
But Taylor was on. He was on Let It Bleed for sure, and I think he did some stuff on Beggar's Banquet as well. I could be mistaken on that, but he was hanging around them as early as '68.
Oh, he was a hangers-on.
Yeah, but his first album as a full-fledged member was Get Your Ya-Ya's Out, the live album. That was his first album as a full-fledged member.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim, what's your favorite John Wayne movie?
Searchers. I don't even have to think about it.
There, he didn't even have
That's a good one. That's a hard one to beat.
Good one.
I kind of like True Grit.
True Grit.
It was a different character for him. John Wayne always played the same character, and to see him play a drunk, and I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed that.
There was a movie he did in the early '70s called McHugh.
That was a cop movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, him driving around a car.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. I'll have to check that out.
I watched it last year, maybe even early this year. I can't remember. I've seen it recently.
My favorite John Wayne movie is the one with the trailer and the whole.
Yes.
When I wish commercials were that bad.
John Wayne movie.
Yeah, the one where they're eating. Quiet Man's a good one.
Oh.
Paul, are you a fan of Shadow expressions?
Yeah, you know, it's I've got their first 3 albums, the ones before they signed with RCA. It's a very different sound. I almost describe them as kind of a garage band at that point. But Chad Allen, he actually was a pretty decent singer. Like you know, he's not as good as Burton Cummings, but few people are. But he was actually a pretty decent singer. He's the one that sang on "Shakin' All Over." For people who don't know that, that's Chad Allen singing that. And I'm not gonna say I listen to that material a lot, but you know, I've got a fondness for it because that is the original Guess Who. You know.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Still suffering from jet lag.
I am. Not just jet lag, but children lag.
There's a lot of lag.
We were up quite late last night because the one little girl that we left up there, you know, because she's part of the family there, there's a 4-hour difference. Well, she was in the emergency room last night with breathing problems.
Oh no.
And so she went around 6 o'clock in the evening, which is, 10 o'clock here. And before she got out of emergency and everything else, probably 1 or 2 in the morning. So we were up sitting on pins and needles waiting to find out what happened. So I'm kind of exhausted today. Mm-hmm. Luckily, they were able to give her some steroids and her throat was closing off. It's only 4 or 5. And it was something to do with the flu, a viral thing, and it was closing her throat off. And they gave her some steroids to help with that. And then she got an antibiotic, which they found out later wasn't needed. But then she was allergic to that, and that caused an issue on its own. And so now it's just a 5-year-old in emergency rooms and ambulances. And in Alaska, you got to go a little ways to get to a hospital. So
okay,
we were sitting on edge for most of the night. So I'm not quite as attentive as I would be, but she's fine now. Thank the Lord.
Does she have a history of breathing issues, Robert?
A little bit, but not like that. That was the first scary one we've had. But yeah, that was weird. Something. Yeah, when kids get the flu, it's completely different. It can be deadly more with children and elderly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't count myself in either of those groups yet. But
yeah, Chad Allen. Again, people aren't aware. Just as the Guess Who are starting to hit their stride and start getting serious recording contracts, he quit to go back to school, only to years later start forming Brave Belt, which turned into BTO, and he did the same thing. He quit just as they were getting popular.
What an idiot!
It says the guy's timing sucked.
I did watch the one or two documentaries they had about the Guess Who and things that explained about all that. Like, yeah.
I think he just he ended up living out here. A guy who used to co-own the record store I go to knew him, and he used to jam with him. Actually, he lived out here in Vancouver, and he says he's just a nice guy, but he just wanted a quiet life. He didn't want to be, touring in a van all his life, and that kind of stuff. He just didn't want
by the river in a van. No.
Yeah, down by the river in a van. He just didn't want to be. He didn't want all that fame, So that's okay,
Yeah,
well, at least it wasn't like Pete Best, where they became famous and knocked your ass out.
Well, it was all his choice. Like he can't, if he's got any regrets, they're of his own making.
I have a clip of his last.
Whoa, yeah! Woo! Woo!
Where did Tim go?
I shouldn't laugh. It's not like I would do any better if I tried.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't have come back.
Yeah.
You timed that perfectly.
Tim is sort of like the Martians in Mars Attacks when they play Slim Whitman.
Oh my God. I just got up to plug my phone in, and it decided on its own to go into airplane mode.
Yeah.
So it shut me off.
Did you have an airplane flying above your house?
No, I don't know what the heck happened, but it shut me off, and that was that.
Wow. Must have been those New Jersey drones.
Is it? Can I have you bring me some eggs when you come over, Doc?
You want to get more mortgages to buy eggs?
I was going to say there's $6.59 over here. I don't know how you guys are doing.
$4.
So
Why is it like it's not just eggs, right? It's got to be everything is up, right?
well, everything's up, but it just seems because they claimed this chicken thing, or whatever. But then in Michigan, the wonderful mayor, or whatever they call it, the governor decided that we can only have cage-free eggs in Michigan from now on.
Free range. We call them free range up here, but
Well, whatever they call them, that's all you're allowed to sell now. So whatever.
well, honestly, that's all we buy because having a chicken live their life in a cage is not really.
Well, the difference between a cage-free and a caged chicken is that it's 3 foot by 3 foot instead of 2 foot by 2 foot. That's a big difference. Have that much more room to walk instead of this much.
I don't know if it's like that in Canada. I think in Canada.
Pasture raised is different, and I'm learning this, right? Pasture raised versus cage versus uncaged versus there's got like 5 different names, organic,
Yeah.
So
Well,
today I tried the
free range. That we only buy
free range or pasture range, I think are identical, where they have some turf, like they're allowed out. And those are the ones I'm trying today at $6.50.
My cousin has an acreage, a small acreage in Ontario. It's like under 2 acres or whatever. And this past summer, he decided he's going to raise chickens. So he built a coop and he's got chickens and he's
cool.
Free eggs
for his chickens, bringing them in at night when it's cold and all this sort
Well,
of
there's no such thing as free eggs no matter what, because you got to feed the chickens and pick up.
Gotta feed the chickens.
So, if you're into it, you're into it. I just wondered if in Canada they're cheaper. Bring me some. We'll do some of our own trade.
We had the bird flu here in BC a few years ago, and it all went crazy. It killed all the chickens, and eggs went through the roof. The price went crazy and stuff. So
yeah, it'll go back down.
But you know,
eventually.
I don't eat that many to begin with. Like maybe 2 every 3 a week. I just
we don't eat that many eggs here. Honestly, we don't eat a lot of eggs. So.
I like bacon more than eggs, but
Jeff, what's your favorite one?
Yes.
Hit wonder
Oh,
of the
my
60s?
favorite one-hit wonder is easy. A guy named Bob Lynn had a song called "Elusive Butterfly." It was a top 10 hit in 1966.
There you go.
I was in grade school.
There you go.
I didn't know we had that segment. Sorry.
$8, $9.
Segments change by the minute.
They're about $4 a dozen here.
Well, that I can handle. This 8, 9, I just won't eat them. Forget it. I'll go back to ostrich eggs.
One ostrich egg is probably like 5 of a chicken.
Yeah, them great big ones. Mm-hmm.
There are some restaurants here on the door. It says if you order anything with eggs, you're going to pay $1 more. So it's an egg omelet or whatever it is. They're charging.
There's probably a tariff on eggs. Oh.
There's
no. We just refuse to sell them to the Americans.
Tariff.
Just forget about all that stuff, Doc. Come
We
on.
won't even sell your whiskey anymore.
When they're making egg salad, are they putting tuna in it to stretch it? Because see, when they used to make tuna salad, they put eggs in it to stretch it. So now they're reversing it. And
They're just putting sawdust in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just.
Bread filler and stuff.
Yeah.
But if anyone comes down to visit me in America from Canada, you won't have to pay for a thing. That's all Come on.
The sawdust thing is only half joking because in the American Civil War, when they were besieging Vicksburg, that's what they were doing. They were making bread out of sawdust.
Yeah.
Seriously. They were mixing
hardtack or whatever they called it. Yeah.
No, it wasn't hardtack. When Vicksburg was under siege, they had no food coming in, right? So they
made it out of sawdust.
To make the flour that they had last longer, they were mixing it with sawdust.
Man. I do think they still do that, but now it's called vegan bread.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yummy.
It's pretty rough.
My wife's bread tastes like sawdust.
Oh, they were eating anything. They were eating all their horses and all their dogs. It was a bad scene. Because Vicksburg was under siege for a number of months.
Didn't have any food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take note, kids. This has been the American History Minute.
Yeah, it was a real bad scene.
Mm-hmm.
This is on, what we call it, America Rock or Freedom Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Oh, still in the package.
Now, which one is that? Is that the Michael Keaton one?
Yeah,
It's the 1989, I think, right?
Yeah,
Michael Keaton one. Then.
Isn't that the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Well,
That's why.
Technically, it's the second one. But.
Was it?
Well, counting the Adam West one.
Yeah, counting the 1966 Batman.
Well, I have that. That's my favorite quote, Batman. Outside of
I still think the Barris Batmobile is the best. It's the
Yep.
coolest looking one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got that. Up there.
Out those double windshields. Ugh.
I
Not
got
easy.
the big one and I got the little one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is from that file I found.
Mm-hmm.
Doc will show them on their own when he gets them, but I got a little pile started for you, Doc.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Remember? We're still waiting on one, you said.
Yeah, you should have 4. One, well, the guy was on vacation during the time the auction run. So like, oops, I'm sorry, we were gone for a week. I'll get your package out soon.
And now for our sponsor. Nonsense.
No. Today's sponsor is Poppy.
Oh, sorry, Poppy.
Poppy. And if
I
you can
thought
see
it
there,
was Dr. Pepper.
yeah, it's Doc Pop. Yummy.
Dark
What's the flavor, actual flavor? Is it raspberry?
And I'm not drinking this too fast because it's obviously sugar-free.
Uh-oh. Good for you.
What's the actual flavor, Doc?
Doc Pop.
It's just called Doc Pop.
Doc Pop.
And what's it supposed to taste like?
It's like Doc.
Yeah.
Well, I never.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, next time you see Doc, lick under his armpit. And
No,
then
that's okay. I'll take his word.
And film it. Please film that. That's a video. There you go. Doc Pepper. That's the sponsor. Doc
There you
Pepper.
go.
I just saw they have a new kind of Dr. Pepper out. It's some kind of raspberry something or other.
Oh, really?
And there's an orange orange Coke flavored Coke too. So
on the plane, they gave us a little tiny, maybe 7-ounce can of whatever pop you asked for, whatever they had. They had Schweppes is what I got.
Oh, Schweppes is the worst ginger ale. Ugh.
It's all they had. When I asked for Verner's, they look at me cross-eyed.
Canada Dry. Canada Dry is the ginger ale to have.
when you're having more than one.
And they give you a little tiny bag of pretzels, about with 6 little pretzels.
Yeah.
And then they have like instructions on the bag. Number 1, open bag.
Like
in case of emergency, open bag from the bottom.
Not open from the rear.
Well, I don't know about you guys when they start talking about the oxygen dropping and the things under the seat and all that. I'm looking, this place is going down. I'm not reaching for nothing.
I've never had Seagram's ginger ale, so I can't. But I don't like Schweppes.
Seagram's plant in Windsor. The Windsor's got the big Seagram's whiskey.
I will drink the Schweppes, but I enjoy Verner's, even if it's got the what do you call it, the high fructose corn.
You know, Walkerville is that's Walkerville, right? That's where Seagram's is out there, right, Doc?
Yeah, well, it's part of Windsor, really.
Yeah, but it's the Walkerville neighborhood.
I don't have a monkey mobile. You had a monkey mobile.
I supply taught at Walkerville High School. I did some supply teaching there. Or not supply, sorry, practice teaching.
I got my, right there, I got my Partridge Family bus.
I can barely.
Thank you, Mr. Robert S.
Oh, John, like the Oreo Coke. No.
I never had it. Did you drink it?
But we've got orange Coke now. I see.
Really?
Yeah, orange flavored Coke.
Why wouldn't you just get regular Oreos and eat them with your Coke?
Well, what's orange Coke? They put
orange in it.
Orange.
Orange.
But what makes it Coke? That's
I think it's Coke orange in it.
all right.
I don't know. They sit around a boardroom all day going like, what can we do? What can we do?
Yeah.
You can just go to Taco Bell or whatever. Fill your glass up half with Coke and half with orange. I don't know why they
27
have
different kinds of Mountain Dew. They got Mountain Dew Blast, Mountain Dew this, Mountain Dew that, Code Red, Code Yellow, Code,
Yeah, there's a Pepsi cream soda on the shelf now too.
Really?
I do like cream sodas.
I don't know where they get the ideas. I know. Let's make Pepsi cream soda.
They may not know it, but Rock and Rye by Faygo is one of my favorite red cream sodas I've ever had. If you know what that is.
No.
You've never seen Faygo Rock and Rye?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I've never bought it.
Oh, it's very good. It's a cherry red soda. That's all it is. Or cream soda.
Rum and
If you like
Coke.
soda, if you like cherry, it's good.
Yeah, but you can't find that on the shelf. You have to make that your own.
Yeah, rum and Coke isn't quite available.
Yeah.
Right off the shelf.
It is in some countries. I don't think we have them here. But in like England and Ireland and stuff, they have canned mixed drinks now.
I've seen some vodka.
Yeah, I've seen the vodka stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen all kinds. Well, I watch the Try channel, and they're always trying stuff like that.
Well, I got an appointment at 6:30 and at 6:26. So thank you for having me on and listening to a few things and
welcome home and
allowing me to share a little bit.
Stay warm.
I'll let you know what I think, Robert. I'm gonna give her a listen.
I'll try to catch up on Thursday. That's when I usually have Hunter destroying me. So, it's hard. But thanks a lot, guys. Have a great evening.
Yeah, Robert.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Robert.
Bye-bye. Poof, and there he goes. Robert P, everyone.
Yes. Hey.
That's the worst audience sound effect I've ever heard. That's awful.
It's a distant crowd cheering.
Yeah. I like the flavored water myself.
She likes fizzy water.
Fizzy water, yeah.
I'd rather eat my sugar than drink it. Well, then you ought to like Poppy then. There's no
Poppy
sugar in that.
No. Sugar-free Diet Pepper.
I can't stand regular. I only drink
water.
Diet. I've been drinking Diet for so long. Regular is just horrid to me. Don't like it at all.
You know, Diet Pop is actually sweeter than the normal pop.
Whatever it is.
It has a sweeter taste to it.
But in a different way. Regular pop, I bloated. I mean, I will get major gas if I have a glass of regular soda every single time I drink it.
You know what? There's some text on the can for all of those who are confused and whether they should pick this stuff up. And it says, soda's back. I didn't know what's left. It says, baby, you're a classic. What's that word? Oh, baby, you're a classic, period. And so is this soda. Why is this hard to read? In your hand. Oh, so is the soda in your hand.
In your
It's
hand.
got that.
Here, hold the can up and see if this helps.
Yeah, I need
We'll get you one, Doc.
I do have one over there. But anyway.
This isn't a magnifying glass. This is a CD cover reader.
It's got that iconic flavor the doctor's famous for, but without all that extra sugar.
Yeah.
And it tastes like it too. It's Poppy may cause inferior eyesight. No kidding.
Yeah.
See,
I'm the end of
there's my name right there. It's right there.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there he is.
There.
Okay.
Hey, there's my name right there.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Wow. I guess. Who remembers Nanny and the Professor?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Her name was Figolilly.
Richard
Yeah.
Long.
But
Who
Nanny
died
will
now.
do.
He died right after that show, I think. He had a heart attack.
That's
He was
what
like
killed him.
49. Yeah, he was in a sitcom.
And the little girl ended up in Disney movies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Nanny
Richard
went
Long
on
wasn't
to
that
make
old, was he? He was only
Avanti.
like in his 40s.
Yeah, and Juliette Mills married a younger man.
Yeah.
She went on to make Avanti, and you get to see her
Coffee
naked a
may
little
cause
bit.
inferior eyesight.
Yeah.
Just one sip
High
of it.
fructose corn syrup
Be
gives
careful.
you fatty liver disease. Young kids are getting it now. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, all that soda they're having.
Maybe you better switch to diet drinks. Ooh. But I don't recommend the poppy. I'm sorry.
No more
Poppy.
coffee. You just get one can. You didn't get a 6-pack.
I'm glad.
I was gonna say it's a
One was
one
enough.
can.
I'm
So see,
having
that's
trouble.
you went from trying cereal to trying new sodas, new drinks.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing new. But I saw poppy on the shelf. I went, what the heck?
Interesting. Yeah.
So like now we know. Don't buy it. Bah. Oh, DC's back. Yay. Hello, DC.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
He only averages 2 sodas a year. Oh.
Yeah.
There
pretty
you
much.
go.
Mm.
If that many.
Hmm.
If I'm really thirsty, you know.
Well, come on up, DC. We'll talk about vaudeville.
Yeah, we've got a little time left.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Half an hour.
doesn't like the Ritz brothers either.
Half an hour. I can't believe we've been on for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it went over quick today.
Boy.
I watched another video on YouTube, which to me was fascinating. This guy put it together. Apparently, this is his second version. His first version got taken down because of the soundtrack, but he found an audience soundtrack. It's Pink Floyd from 1980 doing The Wall live. The entire thing on video, taken from 2 or 3 different shows. And it's pretty good. I'm watching this thing. It's interesting because when they start out, there's just 4 of them, and you never see them add more people. But it goes on as it goes on. They're adding more people as it goes.
Magic.
And it's pretty interesting to see them do it live. But I'm sitting there watching it, and I realized I got this. I never realized it before, but I got this theory in my head that to me, their career really parallels the Beatles' career in a lot of ways.
Tell us how.
They started out making music that progressed quite rapidly from what they were doing to what they became, which is what the Beatles did. Okay, like the early first 2 Pink Floyd albums are kind of like Please Please Me with the Beatles. You know, they're very different from what came later. Then they've got a couple of transitory albums in there, like A Hard Day's Night and Beatles for Sale. And now they're getting more to what they're going to become. And then they do Dark Side of the Moon, which is kind of their Sgt. Pepper. It's very much their Sgt. Pepper, actually.
Yeah.
And then they do 2 albums that if you put it together would be a 2-album set. That's their White Album, a very diverse material compared to you know, Dark Side of the Moon. And then they do The Wall, which is kind of their Abbey Road. I mean, it's very produced, like, you know, it's kind of there. And then their real last album before the band quote unquote split, before Waters left, it kind of mirrors Let It Be. It's kind of much less than The Wall. You know what I mean? It's kind of a, you know, and you look at it that way, and it's like they're very similar.
I heard on the radio this week that they're going to be remastering the Live at Pompeii show. That's one where they're in the amphitheater doing echoes.
Yeah, and they're going to be releasing an album.
They're remastering it, you know, cleaning the video up and all that stuff. And so that's kind of cool because that's a really neat video watching them do that. It's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, no, I saw it a long time ago on VHS. Someone had it.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're going to remaster and re-release it, which is really cool.
DC, we have lots of time past a half hour. Really, honestly, yes.
Yes. It's right about now we run out of things to talk about. We need an injection.
Yeah.
We need a blood transfusion.
Yes.
And remember, the show ends. And then when the show ends,
I'll go on.
Stuff to talk about after the show ends, right? That's the way it works.
I'll go on for a second because it occurred to me. After that occurred to me, younger people always say, well, the Beatles were good, but they weren't all that and blah, blah, blah. And I got to thinking, I'm pretty sure they are the only band that while they were together as a band, never released a single that didn't make the top 40 in America.
Mm-hmm.
Not even Money?
No, the Beatles.
Every single single that the Beatles released hit the top 40 in America. I don't think there's another group that can even.
I find this a lot. There's a lot of revisionism going on when the Beatles are concerned, saying, "Oh, they weren't that good. They weren't that influential." All this stuff. And this happens every 20 years. We go through this. And I think a lot of it right now is the fact that the Beatles, at least Apple/Universal, have overexposed them. And I think there's been a public backlash against that. Just my opinion. I don't have any evidence to support it, but I see this every 20 years. There's a rise in Beatle popularity, and then there's a dramatic counter movement to that. And so what we're seeing now is all this stuff saying, "Oh, they weren't that good. They were always fighting." All this nonsense you hear about it, and it's like, just shut up and listen to the music. Like, that's my attitude.
Shut up.
Shut up. The record speaks for itself. Over 1 billion units sold. Nobody else is anywhere near them. To this day, even the new bands use them as a yardstick. Like, to me, it's just like, it's all this counter Beatle movement that's so popular. And I think a lot of it is just sort of, backlash against overexposure. I think, honestly, I think that's what's a lot of it, because I think people are starting to realize that all this remastering they're doing, people are saying, "Hey, this is just a money grab," right? And now they're saying, "Oh, that leaves a bad taste in their mouth," right? So, just my opinion, folks. That's
well, they're fixing the records from the early '60s. Well, that's to bring them up to date, kind of, So.
Hey, I just found my name.
Oh, good.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to show anybody because I don't want to.
It actually says Gurr on there?
It says Gurr right there.
Gurr. Yeah.
Wow.
But the point is, artists of today don't have to release singles. And if they did, and we were still in that whole singles era, they wouldn't, people like, Taylor Swift wouldn't have a dozen hits from one album, because people don't buy singles like that. But the Beatles, their first couple of singles in America didn't sell, but they got re-released, and then they did sell, and then they were hits. The Beatles, there's never been a single released in America, even the ones on MGM and stuff, that didn't make the top 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I look at bands like Guess Who, like from Share the Land album, there were 5 singles from that album. Okay, so that's 2 sides. There's only 9 songs on that album, and yet there were 5 singles released from it. And when you get the Best of the Guess Who Volume 1, side 2 is all Share the Land. It's the same song. This is really funny. So, I mean, but it's a different time. Bands sold singles back then, and that today it's like it's measured differently. It's so different how these things are counted, how they're measured.
Well, I'm just saying that the Beatles never had a flop as far as the 45 is concerned. Never.
Not really.
And I can't think of another band that didn't have at least one.
And George was ready in case they did flop.
Like, I mean, even the Ballad of John and Yoko was a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking,
no, everything hit the top 40. Everything single.
Number 1 in England, top
40.
10 here.
And, And you can't, solo Beatles can't say that. Art and Stones can't say it. I can't. There's nobody that can say that. Unless you put out one album and 2 singles and they were both hits and then you ended it, I don't know what I'll say.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is where we start up the guest of the year of the thing name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, get ready, kids, because I gotta
pick whatever. Pick your.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Pick
good. We
one.
got 20 minutes left. That's good.
I know because people are
Chrono
dying.
Photo.
Chrono Photo.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Chrono Photo. Yes.
Worst group of all
ready.
time to me is the Milli Vanilli. Yeah, well,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's a stiff competition.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
All
do
right,
worst.
one.
I only do bests. Worst
Look at
don't
that.
matter.
Okay.
1912.
If you don't like it, why are you thinking about it? Why are you wasting your time? That's my thoughts on worst.
Yeah. What?
1912 for me.
1960, it says right there.
No, it's not 1960.
Okay, so,
Before that.
wow.
No, that's
Fancy is perambulator.
Oh, there's not a lot of clues there, is there?
Yeah.
I've got a date, but I want to go just about last.
Okay. I went 1912. Who else going to do it?
No, there's no cars.
19.
I'm just guessing.
Oh boy. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not bad with 1912, to be honest.
1906 sounds good too. Yeah. Because look at the clothes they're wearing, and that's a baby carriage or a baby buggy or whatever.
All right, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say mine. I'm 1902.
Okay.
I was gonna say 1901, you bugger. All right.
Well,
I'm gonna say 19.
It could be 1900. To be honest, I mean,
it's 1917.
Okay.
It's gonna be way up here. But yeah, we have a 1900.
Okay.
Yeah, it's early. I could tell by the woman's hat that this.
The long dresses and everything.
It's not the 20s.
No.
It's before that. I was thinking I was going to say 23, but no, I'm sticking with 17.
Is there any more guesses? Oh.
By World War II, fashion had changed.
The peanuts here.
Yeah, 1900 might be a better guess than 1902.
It's around the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we ready to find out the answer?
Let's hit
one
it.
car. I think they're on a boardwalk, but still not one car.
Looks like in New Jersey or Atlantic City or wherever. Okay, let's see.
Well, I was going to say they do have electricity. If that's a
biggest clue is the way the woman's dressed.
Yeah.
Let's find out. The answer is
1906. Okay.
Yeah.
Simba did it.
I think we all did pretty good.
Ding, 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 ding. One for her.
It's been about 10 years of that.
Yeah, but I thought 1912 was too late. I looked at that. No, it's really good.
Okay. And that's
this
the next one.
This was taken last week.
That's Middle East.
So look at the boxes there and stuff.
He's selling scrambled eggs.
Are those records?
What the heck is he scratching?
Yeah, can you zoom in on that album cover? I was just about to say
album
that.
cover. It's
is it an album cover?
Yeah.
I think it is.
What in the world? He's a street vendor. That's a record.
No, it's not an album cover. It's too long. It's longer than it is high.
He's got a lot of.
It could be a calendar, maybe.
He's a street vendor selling stuff.
Okay.
Bars of soap and candy, and he has something you can use that. But those
yellow stuff. What is that?
Looks like potato chips, but I don't know.
No, scrambled eggs.
Oh, kind of. It's not.
That'd be interesting.
Maybe just
This was a tough one.
Nobody's selling this. He
I
needs
think
to buy
and that's what it is.
This could be any time.
Yeah.
Well, it's not 1906.
No.
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 I'm gonna go with 1967.
No, it's later than that.
Yeah. I'm going 1990.
2006.
60.
Picture's too grainy for that. 67. That's it. I'm sticking with that.
71. Were those
I don't
Altoids?
care.
Kim wants to know if those are Altoids.
I don't think so.
Could be hemorrhoids.
Okay, I'll change it. 1990.
Sardines or something.
I said 1990.
Oh, did you? Okay, 1993.
You're way off.
Oh, I think they are. They might be Altoids, actually. Kim,
Then it looks like gum he's selling.
He's not doing too well with.
He opened up a can of peaches and poured it out on the.
Oh no, cat.
He's got a whole bag full there.
I'm gonna have a bag full of
can
peaches.
of worms. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Please buy my stuff. Well,
It was 67. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's at 67.
He's a street vendor. Yeah. Okay.
77.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else? Hello.
No, I did 93.
We already said.
Yeah.
We already
So
all
did.
said.
What do you got, Doc?
I got 77. Boom. 56. What?
Wow, that's early.
Well,
What?
so this wasn't it because look how grainy the picture is. The picture's not clear. Like it's just.
Well, yeah, but there's. I've seen bad pictures from.
But it's in color.
I thought those were those were Altoids then. If that was 50.
I only missed it by 11 years. I
So
win.
he's selling cigarettes or something like that.
Yeah, no. Clearly, Gurr won that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Grr.
Well, let's try another one.
And next we
Next.
have.
Here comes-
Oh. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh well, look at the computer.
COVID.
Okay. This
That's a
is
computer.
1991.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go earlier than that. I'm gonna say like 86.
You got the little boy's cold,
That's a boy?
I guess. I didn't look, but I would say.
Although that could be. Oh, you know, the processing unit is lying down. The monitor's on top of it.
Yeah, I'm going 95. I think it's later than people think computers progress faster than they did.
Yeah.
And just because new things came out doesn't mean everybody had them either. That's the other thing.
Yeah, 95 is a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 93.
There's another 88. 88 is a popular guess.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say originally? 85. That's too early. I'm gonna say yeah.
Ooh, do we have a consensus?
I'm gonna say 93.
93.
Just cause. Maybe it's an old computer. It could have been taken last year.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, you see schools and stuff of people like this, and it'll be 2017, and you're like, huh? But, not everybody updated,
But it's so clean looking.
Yeah, it's not yellow. Stuff always turns yellow, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to submit.
Submit away.
Submit.
Submit away.
Oh, 94.
I said 93, so
We get all both tied.
Yeah.
You don't get,
Mm-hmm.
He is a captive.
minus this for going over in this game.
I said 93, so
Yeah, I said 95, so right in the middle.
there you go.
Next one.
Okay. Next one. We
Next one.
have.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
95. 1895.
Can you enlarge that?
They look like
Is that Japan?
oh, they almost I was gonna say they look like Japanese soldiers.
Yeah, like I got the samurai sword.
This could be like, and those, yeah, can you zoom in on it?
The hats don't look like Japanese though. They almost look like they're Russian, maybe, or French. Ooh.
It's a French one.
Oh, okay. I've got an idea now, but I want to go last on this one.
Okay.
They're not Japanese.
No,
I don't want to
French.
give people clues.
This could be the, I know what it looks
World War
like.
One.
They look like the French Foreign Legion.
Yeah. But it looks, I would say something like 1918. Maybe World War One.
Oh, yeah, there's Laurel and Hardy right there.
The sword there. Can't see any guns. I saw some guns.
In the background, I don't see any trucks or anything.
The cavalry, you notice they got spurs on their boots?
Yeah. Oh, they're driving horses. Yeah.
I'm going to say 1890.
It starts at 1900.
Okay.
You can still guess 1890 if you want, but I guarantee you won't win.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to go over, so I will win.
I'm not going to go over, I don't think.
But it's in brown and
I'm going to
white.
say 1914 then. 1914.
Okay.
Locked and loaded.
Okay, I'm going 1915 just because I was going to say 1914, but Paul, I let Paul take my answer. So.
Oh, we can switch. You do 14. I'll do
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to go last, so you're fine.
Okay.
It's a tough one.
I said 14. Are you picking 14?
I put 14. Want me to put
Doc
13?
does that. Doc steals other people's answers.
Whoa, 1960.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely World War One vintage.
So I got that one just because
I think we're all
I
right.
I 1918 myself. Look like
We're all
French
right
or
on that
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I knew. I saw those hats, and I'm like,
Oh.
okay, that's World War One.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So what's going on here?
I think they're hunting rabbits.
Well, the guy's definitely got a shotgun, and the one guy.
Is he wearing knickers?
Kind
Is
of.
that? Yeah, they're wearing knickers.
1926.
There's fog at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got an answer.
Would that be fox hunting? Or that'd be on
It
a
could be
horse?
pheasant. It could be
Pheasant hunting.
bird.
Yeah.
I say 1926 myself.
Wait a minute. Let me see what this guy says.
Hello, folks.
Hello.
Doc, if you put me on the gold dang show, I would have come up with 1906 because I wrestled a couple of butchers back in the day myself.
Yeah, but the thing was that you were way down below in the screen when I put those.
Yeah, I was in the green room, as they say. He's toking on a doobie, waiting to come on.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't die in the meantime. Wait.
Yeah, it could go at any moment, actually.
Yay, DC's here. Yay.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I just learned that Santa Puppet has a friend. I never knew.
Yeah,
about that. In the puppet world, there are friendships.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 1930.
You're half friendly. But
1930. That's my guess.
That's a good guess. 1930, because it could straddle 25 through 35.
I'm going 35 because
I went 26. Did they wear knickers in the 30s?
English and French. Hunting they did up till even the 40s. They were still dressing like that hunting. So it's hard to tell. France and England, they were
the British aristocracy. That was kind of a hunting garb.
Yeah, I'm going 35. Just
yeah.
Hmm.
1922.
Okay. That's Winston Churchill.
Bang.
Drum roll, please.
196.
1909. Holy
wow.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
That's early.
I got that one.
As Lee says, it's a rare photo of the Beatles with guns.
Guns.
The Beatles with guns.
If I did on weekends.
Way off on that one.
You're
Wow.
Well, we did pretty good, I think, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, your deduction skills are on spot. Very well done.
Oh.
Kimball was nailing them. She got
she
spot on about 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, hats off.
Some of them there are certain clues, and some of them you have no idea. That one from the
those ones were hard because there wasn't a lot of like the pictures could have been taken from like 10, 15 years span. There wasn't
the Altoids clue threw a lot of people off because I had no idea they had Altoids as a product that far back.
Yeah,
and the computer one, it could just be no one's updated in quite a few years on their computers, so there's a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah. I got the one with the lady correct because women's intuition.
Is that the one with the
bustle knowledge? Bustle knowledge along with Dick Smallwood.
I knew it was before 1910, but it's hard to get exact. Fashions don't change, especially back then. Fashions didn't change from year to year. They were the same.
That's right.
Yeah, people didn't have time for that kind of nonsense back then.
No.
Different classes dress differently as well. Different social classes dress differently.
About 1910, women's and men's hats changed a lot in about 1910.
And even the baby was like with the bonnet and all that kind of stuff. It was a crazy time. They probably had, like
the
boots
best
on the
times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah.
No, one time on here there was this 3 people. They were going on a picnic, a guy and 2 women, and the women had like these odd sunglasses on and wearing short shorts, and it's a color photograph. And I guess like 1959 or something like that. It was 1945. I'm like, you just it's like, really people actually looked like that in 1945. I was just like shocked. I was like, wow.
It was a prophetic picture.
But it's just we know what we know from television and the movies. We don't actually see what people actually were wearing and doing. We just see the concept of it. Like if you watch the 80s, you think all men had a mullet and were wearing,
I lived it, baby. I lived it.
Who is this guy anyway? We got a name?
Dick Smallwood.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm on the Grant's Rock Warehouse every once in a while, but me and DC have a vaudeville channel as well.
I think you should call him Dickard Roland.
What?
Dickard Roland, reverse the letters. Dickard Roland.
Oh.
Ooh, kind of looks like him.
That's just naughty.
Naughty, literally.
Yeah. Kimba also likes watching documentaries about department stores. Oh. Idiot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woody Spruce, the chairman of the board.
Just play that video and show the puppet going, "Oh yeah," you know.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? We should have a fight between Dick
Him and
Smallwood and Santa Claus.
Yeah, have a conversation.
Ooh, that'd be a mighty that'd be a real square off right there. That'd be a clash of the Titans.
They can double date, get a couple hot chicks, and go on the town.
Somebody should come up with a Richard Dolan puppet.
It would be something. Which one is the puppet?
Well, DC, don't move, don't even touch your keyboard. Promise?
Yeah.
You promise? You promise? Don't touch nothing. Don't touch.
Boy, this is a pretty strict
just go like this. And don't move.
So much for freedom.
You too, Jeff. You do too.
I can stay a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Do that. Do that. Okay.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Okay.
You want us all to do this? Is that it?
That's it. Bye-bye.
That's all, folks.
Good night.